Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Buddy. Wait, no. God, that's the name of my old podcast. Jesus. That's the name of my podcast from 3 years ago.
I'm not.
Oh, dear.
I'm not jealous at all. All right? It's fine.
We haven't got the same amount of episodes yet, but we'll get there. That was just like the pattern recognition came into there because I usually tell you to do it. So yeah, sorry about that.
You didn't
Welcome back to Over the Puns.
You didn't do the correct intro. Come on, dude.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I've been on multiple podcasts, and at least I went for the least controversial one. But yeah, welcome back, everybody. I am Fraser, and how are you doing, buddy?
And I am not John. I'm just kidding. I'm doing pretty good, other than we were talking about I got some pretty terrible sleep last night, and I'm dealing with this freaking cold sore, man. It's so annoying, bro. Do you ever get cold sores?
I've had it like once when I was a kid.
I'm so jealous, dude. And I know that people are going to be like, you should do this. Trust me, I've done everything. Everything that someone is going to type down, try this. I'm telling you, I've done it. I have medication from the doctor. I take this supplement that's called lysine. I have topical stuff that's on it right now that probably makes it look even crazier. It's just annoying, all right? But I'm doing pretty good other than that.
Is it like... well, I'm glad, but is it like a... Like, is it like an illness?
I mean, technically it's herpes.
Oh, damn, stay the fuck away from me.
Technically it's herpes, but apparently like the majority, like 70, 80% of people have it.
Mine
are weird because most people get them on their lip, right? Like on it, the actual like fleshy part of your lip. Mine are always like right under it, which I've always been like, at first, I think I had them for a long time and didn't realize that's what they were. And so I just thought it was just like I would get pimples there a lot, or like I'd cut myself shaving or whatever. But I'm almost like almost definitely it's cold sores, which is annoying, but it is what it is.
So they come back. So I must have not had them if I've never had it again. I must have just had like a big spot or something.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know enough about them, but usually when people get them, they get them frequently, and it's just annoying because the past like few years they've become more frequent. Which like before it was like very infrequent. Now it's like every few months, if not more than that, I have one. And the most annoying thing is obviously when it's like super inflamed and stuff, it's painful and not fun. But for me, there's like pigmentation that just stays afterwards. So like it's just like constantly red under my lips. It almost looks like my lips are chapped all the time, which is so frustrating. And so apparently there's like specific like, it's basically makeup, but it's like stuff that you put on it's like green, I guess, and it cancels out the red, which I've thought about, but I don't know. I don't care that much, but at the same time, like
foundation on?
Basically, yeah, but it's like sometimes I think, I mean, technically I am just in front of a camera all the time. So it's like maybe, but then I'm like, do I really care that much? And
then you get that one comment being like, dude, the fuck's that?
No, to be fair, no one's really said anything about it. So it's definitely me overthinking it 100%.
To be fair, I haven't noticed it until like you mentioned. I saw it in the story, but like on the camera, I wasn't seeing it and thinking, oh, dude's got a cold sore. Is it cold sore? Cold sore?
Cold sore, yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't get cold sores, but I get cold sores. But I get really annoying mouth ulcers, and I don't know why. Like I wash my hands more than I should, just because I'm trying to like stay. But I think it's because I'm always like biting my nails and stuff. So I think I'm putting like bacteria in my mouth. I spoke to a doctor about it, and they said it could be stress related. Like I noticed that when I'm like more stressed out, I will get a mouth ulcer for some reason, and it's just like a thing that I've always had since I was a kid. Yeah. I have no idea why. Maybe I have some like.
Some people do get cold sores inside their mouth as well, and
maybe
so
it's that.
Again, I don't know that much about them. All I know is that I'm pretty sure that I have them, but I think like you can get them inside, which I'm definitely glad I don't get that because that would be very annoying. But this is annoying because at the same time, like whenever I'm eating, there's the stuff that I put on it that's pretty like heavily medicated and it smells not good. And so you'll be like eating and then you'll realize, oh, this tastes like my freaking medicine. It's, oh, dude, it's so nasty, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm grateful that I don't have it, but I guess we all like, I don't have that, but I've got these fucking burning white spots in my mouth occasionally, and usually they're in like the worst spots. Like, and having a mouth also would be fine if you don't have a job where you have to speak for a living.
Dude, I bet.
But when you get one like under your tongue or under your lip or something, and it hurts every time you speak. Like sometimes, like I don't know if you have like Bonjetta in the US, but it's basically like cream which you put, or some sort of gel that you put onto the cold sore, and it kind of like puts like a mask over it to make it bearable. So I'll just fucking like layer it up as before I record or something like that. But I haven't got one right now, thankfully.
Yeah. So if Fraser ever disappears for a while, it's because he's dealing with that, you guys.
Yeah. But we recorded what, like 5 days ago?
Yeah, dude. I mean, we are back in the saddle, baby.
We're
freaking back. I mean, we never left. Let's be real. We never left. If you
I actually did. I left the continent.
Okay. You have to go. You have to go along with the joke, man.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, it's good. It's good to be back. I'm glad that we're like hopefully being more consistent, and it's just hard because obviously a huge time difference between us both, and we're both. Do you have ADHD too?
Yeah.
Dude,
Too awful ADHD, man. It's a mess. Like my scheduling
we're riddled
just
with ADHD on this podcast.
Yeah, no, we actually are. Like genuinely, like my ADHD is fucking terrible. And like having a partner that doesn't have ADHD, it's like trying to explain it to them. Like when there's some like ADHD related thing, it's like it almost feels like you're trying to like make it as an excuse, but it's not. There's like actual issues there, just for like timings and stuff like that. But yeah, aside from ADHD, in the last episode we spoke about the content cop. Went down amazingly. I heard there were like people being like, "Damn, that's the best take I've ever seen on the content cop."
0 people upset. Everyone was like, "You guys, you know what? I've changed my whole mind." And basically, what you guys said. That's what I think now, and I'm just so thankful. No one disagreed with us at all. It was crazy.
I got a message from iDubbbz and H3H3. We started up a group chat, got on FaceTime. We were like hanging out. We're like bros now. So
yeah, they said thank you so much.
We're actually doing a content cop on everyone else now.
The people that use the content for views. All right, we didn't even put it on a thumbnail and title because we're better.
I was too scared. I was too scared to be honest with you.
100%. I'm surprised. Honestly, when I watched the podcast, I was like half expecting it to be 30 minutes because you just cut it out.
Oh, I was so tempted. I was like, I saw the 20 minutes about the content cop, and I was like, honest to God, I kind of like skimmed through it very quickly, and I was like, yeah, that's good enough. I'm just gonna throw that onto there because like it's like terrifying to speak about.
Yeah,
honestly,
no,
like
it is.
But like people in the comments, there was like one criticism being like, you should probably know the backstory more to this. I'm like, yeah, but it's like, it is fair. And I commented being like, yeah, that's a fair criticism. But at the same time, like, there's a lot there. There's a lot of 3-hour podcasts that I just can't tune into every single like week or day even. Like, I'm pretty sure H3 was on stream literally yesterday, streaming about Frogan? Is that her name?
Frogan, yeah.
Yeah, because she's controversial as well. I know she's got a whole lot of stuff around her. But I saw that H3 and Hassan are apparently getting on a stream tomorrow, which is like kind of crazy. Like, what's going to go on there?
Yeah, so that will, obviously, this will be coming out after that. So you guys tell us what happened in the comments.
Yeah, let's make some predictions. Maybe they'll have like is it in person where they're doing it, or is it over live stream?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I would assume it's over live stream, but I mean, I think they're both in LA, right? So I guess they probably could do it in person.
They should so meet up and like, honestly, there's a whole talk about the Creator Clash, which is this big, if you don't know, it's why am I struggling? It's a boxing event, and it's like iDubbbz is hosting it with his wife Anissa, and they're basically getting a bunch of content creators to fight each other. It's the third one. I believe the second one didn't exactly go down too well as the first one did. I think there was like big issues surrounding the charity aspect, but for this one, they're now facing more issues of fighters are dropping out. Like I believe 2 headliners have dropped out, one person from the H3 podcast, and some like Harley Weinstein or something, some guy on Twitter who's one of the main fighters is apparently supposedly dropping out. And it's like, I feel like if you guys would have solved that.
He was the guy from Epic Mealtime, right?
Yes, he was. And as like, if you guys want to like solve that, H3 fighting Hassan, that would be a good boxing match. But maybe it's like the weight classes are a bit different, but I'd watch it.
I think like, I don't know how tall Ethan is, but I'm pretty sure Hassan's like 6 something, right? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like a lot of calls for like people that they want to fight Hassan. I saw like someone was like he should fight like Sam Hyde. Some people because like they're like similar height and body size. And then obviously everyone's always said that H3 should fight Keemstar. Honestly, man, there are so many fights which are like
does Keemstar
just obvious.
Still do stuff?
Yeah, he does the He does
the Locale, right?
Locale podcast.
Okay,
Yeah. Dude, I can't lie. I tune into that shit. Like,
Do you
it's
really?
funny. Yeah. Like, not every episode, but like, it's like a cinematic universe on there, man. Like, they've like got like multiple channels where like they've got like there's Locale Live, then there's like Locale Queens, and like I don't know the full lore, but if I'm like getting ready for bed or something, I usually just stick it on because it's kind of always on around that time, coincidentally. So I just be like, oh yeah. I'll just throw that shit on the background, and like. I'm still waiting for Amberlynn Reid to go on there. I remember somebody saying that.
Yeah, that she might. Yeah.
Should we Google that? Amberlynn Reid Locale Live, because that would be like the PA resistance. Of
100%.
Locale Live.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see anything. But
yeah,
I remember
there being
something.
rumors. I think maybe I was talking to you about it before, like not during a podcast, maybe like before we were recording or something like that. But clearly that never ended up happening. But I would love to see that. Her, all the people that that I really talk about a lot on my channel, the girl world people. I think that'd be very interesting to see how that would go. But I mean, honestly, like. Amberlynn would be the most interesting person for sure. And there's
who would you put Amberlynn up against in a boxing
match? I think I think most people would would want to see her in Foodie Beauty for sure.
Oh, mate, I think that's like Clash of the Titans.
Yeah, dude, that would be a good one, man. That or like maybe even Amberlynn versus like one of the bigger reaction channels, like that just reacts to like her stuff, and you know what I mean. I just think that'd be funny.
She'd fucking kill them, man. Like that would be like annihilation. She like there's this one guy, and I can't remember his name, but he does like there's a few of them to be fair, but there's this one specific guy, I think he does show his face, who reacts to like every Amberlynn controversy, and like fair enough, get your bag. But I would love to see like a boxing match between. Although
is it
a guy,
Zachary Michael?
Let me
because I know he was like I think he was one of the first people I saw that, and he's been doing it for a really long time.
No, that's not who I'm speaking about. But I have seen this guy before. To be fair, I think I've like gone through his videos for like information or something.
Yeah. But, he's a good because he's been doing it for so long. Definitely a good person to like if you're just trying to learn certain things. Because I've always said like. As far as like the Amberlynn Reid universe, girl world, like there's different levels, and I'm definitely not like the top as far as like most information that can tell you every little detail of everything that's gone on, like because there's people that will react to every single video, the entire video. That's not not what I do.
Yeah. To be fair though, we could Amberlynn. Look, we can't have like men versus women fights. That's never gonna work.
True,
so I think that's a bad idea from me there. So yeah, you're one. You're the Foodie Beauty. We'll go for that.
Guys, this is just these are just fun jokes, all right? Obviously, we don't want anyone actually fighting unless
I do want those to fight.
Unless they want to, of course. But we're not going to pit anyone against each other against their will, all right?
For now. But we might get desperate.
Yeah.
But well, iDubbbz might if he needs fighters. But I'm trying to think of other ones. People listening, go to the comments to comment who you think would be a good fight. I feel like Onision, do you know Social Repose?
Yes.
Do you remember him?
Yep.
Social Repose Onision's like an OG fight that I think would be pretty good to happen. Like they seem pretty like big in size, I think both of them are. But Onision is a former military guy, and he is kind of like, as much as he is like a terrible human being, he actually is kind of well built. So maybe he'd be on the side of winning there, which would be like a proper villain story. Yeah. But I don't think having a predator in the ring is a good idea.
Probably not. That's the thing with these, I think, creator clashes that I've seen people kind of talk about, right? Is like a lot of times it almost helps redeem people, and like so you have to be kind of careful about, I think, who you
could accidentally redeem a pedophile.
Yeah, exactly. Which you definitely don't want, because like even with like the whole like I remember when all this stuff started, right? It was like I don't remember what the first one was, but I remember like the huge one, like the KSI versus Logan Paul thing, and like so many people were like KSI, and it seems like that was kind of the plan, right? KSI helped Logan build his reputation again, and then all of a sudden they're best friends and they have companies together, and it was just like, bro, we got played, bro. The
first fight was in Manchester in the UK, and I actually had tickets to go to it. And and I was too ill to go. Yeah, in hindsight, I'm kind of sad that I didn't go to that because that was like a pretty historic event.
Dude,
like,
that's a piece of YouTube history right there for sure.
Yeah, I mean, the UK YouTube, if there's one thing like it did, it invented YouTube boxing, 100%. With so it all starts off with you probably don't even know some of these people. Do you know who Thea Baker is?
No,
he's like he's like a football YouTuber in the UK. Well, he had a mini boxing ring with Joe Weller, and then KSI commented on the Instagram post about their announcement of a fight. It was like a little YouTube video, like it was no big thing, no big event. It just they fought in a video, and KSI commented being like, "I'll fight the winner." And Joe Weller won the fight, and it led to Joe Weller.
Yeah, I knew who that was, but just because of the fight, really.
Yeah. And the Joe Weller fight versus KSI, I remember that happened, dude. That was like when I was first getting into like YouTube drama and the things into space and stuff like that. And I believe I had videos on it at the time, and it genuinely like really interested me because it was very clear that they did not like each other. And I feel like that's like, with modern day YouTube boxing, the problem is like there isn't really many storylines there, and if there is, it's usually like fabricated within a few weeks of like, oh, we've announced this person, and then now they're on stage with this other person, and they pushed each other over. And it's like, yeah, it's not really that entertaining because it's like WWE at that point. It is just like I'm okay with like a little bit of fabrication. Like I'm sure that happens in heavyweight boxing, it happens in all sorts of boxing, but like, there's ways to start a fight without it being boring. And I feel like YouTube boxing nowadays is genuinely quite boring. I feel like it's kind of like, it's happened so much. Yeah. And it's like, I think the big fight everyone wanted was Jake Paul versus KSI. Never happened, probably never will at this point. And it's like, because of that, I no longer care about it that much.
Yeah, it was definitely like, it was one of those things that it was a moment in time, right? Where it was big and it was popular and it was interesting. But now it's happened so many times now where it's not interesting anymore. I think the reason it was so big was because it was new and different. And I was like, whoa, this is like, seeing people talk a bunch of crap on videos. And then now they're going to, put it to the test on the, out there. And it was like, wow. And I remember there were some stories that were cool too, like of people that really trained a lot and like genuinely lost a lot of weight and like really got in shape to do the boxing. And I remember, I think one of the people was his name Scarce? He was like
Scarce. What a guy! What a guy!
I remember he like did the
hey
thing.
Guys, what's up at Scarce?
Yeah, and he like, but he lost a lot of weight to do this thing, and I think he ended up respectfully. I think he got like demolished, but like he still like he put it all out there, and people were like respect you, and it was like a cool. It was like a really heartwarming story. I remember seeing that, and then there was obviously the extreme of that was like the Boogie fight and stuff like that.
Boogie versus Wings of Redemption again. I fucking loved it, man. I remember when Keem releases promotion stuff, and bro, I say I got into YouTube drama back in like 2017, 16, but like honestly, the first YouTube drama I ever watched was in 2010. Actually, I can go before that. Do you know Angry Video Game Nerd and Nostalgia Critic?
I know who they are. Yeah,
that's the original YouTube beef. Like
really?
It was like fake beef, but it was like YouTube beef back in like 2007, and then in 2010, real legitimate beef was Wings of Redemption versus how have I forgot his name? It's like a YouTube OG, the guy that scammed all of his fans, Syndicate. Syndicate versus
yeah.
So like Syndicate and Wings of Redemption. So Wings was like huge in the COD scene back in like 2010, 2009, and he like obviously Syndicate was also really big, and basically how we got to Wings versus Boogie was in 2010. Syndicate and Wings had a 1v1 on Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I think it was 2. I think it was on High Rise. Do you remember High Rise, Modern Warfare 2?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was High Rise. Wings lost quite badly, and he ends up rage quitting. And from that very moment on, his career just like it just fell apart in front of him. And obviously he remained in like the scene and stuff like that, but it was like nowhere where it was, and he basically became like a lolcow over the years. And that led eventually to Lolcow Live. Well, no, this was before Lolcow Live. It led to the fight. Then we got Lolcow Live and stuff like that. But to be fair, like he is a YouTube OG. So when we talk about like accidentally redeeming like the wrong people and stuff like that, and going back to Scarce, I'm not saying Scarce is the wrong person redeemed. Don't get me wrong, but I'm saying that like the reason I think it happens is because when someone gets in like a boxing ring, it is like you have that ultimate level of respect, because I would never get in a boxing ring. It's like to get into a boxing ring on TV or in front of live stream viewers and know that you could be like beaten the shit out of pretty much. Like you could like have your face bloody, you could get KO'd, and like that takes like that takes like a certain level of like braveness, like I don't even know what the correct word is here, but just like to put yourself in that lion's den is like, I've always had mad respect for it, even if it is Boogie versus Wings of Redemption. If it's Scarce, like as you said, Scarce got absolutely smoked, but like you don't laugh at that, because it's like you've done the training, you've lost the weight, you've got into shape. It's like ultimately there's so much
if you take
respect.
It seriously, right? Like,
I
think I've seen some people where it was like clear they didn't train, they didn't care, they thought it would be funny to just, and that's like, okay, well, anyone can do that, right? Anyone can do that, but like as humans, I think we find respect for doing something difficult, right? That we can see was difficult, especially, you know, even if you see someone like clearly they lost a lot of weight, they put a lot of effort into it, maybe they didn't get the result that maybe they would have wanted, but there is value in the struggle, right? There's value in the putting yourself out there, working really hard for something. And then, like you said, putting yourself out there in front of, because at the time, these events were humongous, right? There was like thousands, maybe like tens of thousands. I don't know, maybe I'm over exaggerating, but there were, you know, at least 5,000 people probably at these events. And that's like, that'd be scary, man. Like that's, and then I just like, you know, taking your shirt off if you're not someone and that might sound silly, but if you're not someone that's ever done that in front of like that's scary, you know, and all of that stuff. It's nerve-wracking. So, you know, there's a level of respect, but at the same time, you can only redeem so much by doing like a boxing match, right?
Do you ever, when Logan Paul went through all of that in like 2018 after the Forest stuff, and he supposedly redeemed himself, what was your like opinion? Because like
I used to like Logan. I used to watch his videos. I think we talked about this.
Saying.
Like I used to watch his videos, and like it was slightly embarrassing because I was like, this is clearly meant for younger people, you know. But I was like, no, I never bought anything or anything like that. All right, I don't have a ton of Maverick stuff in there. Okay, no, I never bought anything. But I was just like, I think I respected, like clearly he put a lot of, at least it felt to me like a pretty good amount of effort in the vlogs. Like they were funny, there were skits. He clearly put a lot of time and effort into them, and I. Like as a creator, I was like, that's cool, you know? And it was this was before any of the controversies, right? It was like him just being annoying. But then I started like seeing the stuff he was doing. And like, there was like controversies of like, it was like a smaller one where, cause he would have like kids stand outside on this like parking structure that could see into his apartment. And he would like interact with them, which I always thought was a little weird just in general. Like, that would make me uncomfortable. I would never want that, right? But then he did this whole thing where he like faked his friend himself getting like mutilated pretty terribly on like to the kids, and like I was just like, why would like, and that's when I started like being like, I don't know, okay, I don't know if I want to watch. I'm pretty sure it was like around that time, and then from there on, I was like, okay, this is clearly not for me anymore. And then when everything happened, man, like I couldn't say that I was like that surprised, because I could see it. Like I could see that this was someone that was chasing content over everything. Nothing else mattered, right? It was like content. That's all that matters. And so when the whole Forest stuff happened, dude, I was just, I mean, I was blown away at how big it got, but I do think that was a good thing. Just because it was like, again, at the time it was just, it was new, right? Like this whole like content, like the way that things were evolving, it was just this, I don't know, it was just new, right? And everyone was pushing boundaries, and I think like so many people coming out and being like, yo, what the, you know, it was crazy. But then, dude, he did that, he left for a long time, right? And then he came back to this whole apology thing, and then like 2 vlogs later, he's filming himself mutilating a mouse or a rat, and I'm like, what? I remember that. Yeah. I was like, what is this guy doing? Like, what is? And at that point, I was like, this is someone that I feel like there's something seriously wrong here, because this is, and then it was just crazy because at that time he was the bad brother and Jake was kind of annoying but relatively whatever, and it just like flipped to where, dude, it was just, do I know too much about this and do I care too much about this? Probably, right? But I just remember watching it all and being like, these people seem like this doesn't seem real. None of this seems real to me.
It was like a really fascinating time on YouTube in like 2018, 2017. I feel like the whole era between 2016 and 2018 was like the building blocks for what YouTube is today. A lot of the content creators that are massive now were starting out back then. They were trying to establish who they are. And you mentioned the content brain thing, being so driven to make content constantly. I feel like that's a thing that can be really good or really bad. In most cases, honestly, it can be bad in terms of like, it can be good for your channel, but socially you reject everything and it can turn you into something that you weren't before. I personally know a lot of people who were so content driven that you kind of saw them lose themselves in a sense, and not really in like a bad thing, but like they were no longer taking time for themselves. They were only doing YouTube. And, you know, some of these people have gone on to be like big, massive content creators and they're really successful and they seem really happy and I'm glad. But like, I've seen the process of getting there and I don't know if I'd want to ever be on that process. I'm pretty happy with where I am. I've seen so much of like people just like, everything for the sake of content or everything for the sake of my channel, burn bridges for the sake of my channel, do this crazy thing for my channel. And it's like, I feel like when you're in commentary, it's very easy to just, you know, I'm on my own, I'm doing my thing, and I don't really need to like really do anything outrageous. But when you witness, you know, traditional forms of YouTube where I feel like with commentary, it's like there's always going to be something to talk about. So it's never too much of a worry. Whereas with like, if you're a vlogger, you've got to be following the big trends in the vlogging community. And if you're doing what Mr. Beast is doing, you've got to follow the big trends there and everything like that.
And you have to make enough money to do
yeah,
that.
Yeah. So there's so many things. Whereas us, we just turn on the camera and go. We speak. We could just like, this podcast costs us nothing. Like, we just turn on our cameras and go. And it's like, it's so easy. But for like these content creators, it must be such like especially when you're at your top, I feel like your biggest fear is losing everything. So you're constantly doing more and more silly shit. And I think with Logan, that's exactly what happened. And even before that in 2016 with a lot of content creators, like, I don't know, some of the commentary channels that came up around that time with like the bullying children stuff, it was just like things were getting worse and worse. And you kind of see that in every time a community builds up with like David Dobrik, for example, when he was doing it, it was like the things just got worse and worse and worse. And they were so content driven that they just lost themselves. They got lost in the sauce pretty much. And it happens like basically every single time someone gets a little bit of clout on the platform.
Yeah, it makes sense, man. Like I remember, I think I've brought this up before, but there was a time when I was trying to do like daily vlogs on my channel. This was like obviously like Casey Neistat era when it felt like everyone was vlogging. But I quickly, like I didn't do daily vlogs for that long, but I quickly realized this wasn't for me because it was like I was doing things because I wanted to film it for a vlog, not because I wanted to actually do that thing. And so it just became very unhealthy, and it just like it ends up taking over your life, right? It really does. At least for me, it did. And so I just ended up not enjoying it. And I think that there's something about like filming so much, man, because you feel like you have to talk and film and tell everyone all of these, you know, emotional and secret things about yourself for the content. But then the issue with that is that because you have opened that up and now you are sharing this information with strangers and, you know, people that are watching your videos, people are going to have opinions, right? And they're going to share those opinions. And then you're going to have to deal with, am I doing this or not doing this because I'm afraid of what people are going to say about what I do or how I act, or, you know, and it's like, you know, not to bring up, you know, the co-host of my channel, Amber Lynn, too much, but like that's one of the biggest things I noticed with her is that every video is like she'll do something and a lot of times she does it because people said that she does it. Like a video recently, she started the video by like opening up her shower and walking out, right? And then saying, you know, she was clothed, but like, you know, oh, you know, the things I do for people. And it was like because she was trying to prove to people that I can fit in my shower, I can go into my shower, I do shower, you know, and it's just like constant, like trying to reply to people without really replying to them, and it could just become very unhealthy. And it's like, what are you at? Are these things that you're doing on camera what you want to actually be doing, or are you doing it because you want to film yourself doing it on camera, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like such a it's like a toxic cycle, which I think these vloggers can get into. I think vlogging at its core can be really fun. Funnily enough, when I went to Japan, I actually vlogged the entire thing, and I have an hour and 20-minute vlog privated on my YouTube channel. It's never going to go public, but it was like, it's just me and my girlfriend and all the shit we did combined like 2 weeks into one vlog, and I recorded so much, dude. But it was just a case of like, I really like recording things. I vlogged going to New York as well, but I never got around to editing it. But this time I vlogged it on my iPhone, so it was really easy to transfer to my Mac, and then I just edited on what's the editing software on Mac called again? No, the other one. It's specifically for Mac. I can't remember what's called. Either way. Oh, fair. Well, yeah, I usually edit on my PC, but I wanted to edit on my laptop so I could be like a hipster in a coffee shop. I actually went into a coffee shop and edited this vlog, but that sort of thing I really enjoy doing, because it was like, it's for me. It actually is for me, and it's like, I think I rarely do things for myself, of like outside of consumerism, like outside of buying myself things. I think it's like rare to actually like be like, no, I'm gonna do this thing, not show it to anyone other than like my friends and family, because I enjoy doing it, and like that's fun. But when that becomes your job, because the thing is like, say like 7 years ago, I published that vlog, like say I did it then, and it goes viral, and it's like, oh shit, now I've got to do another one, and it's like, yeah, at the time that sounds awesome. Oh yeah, I can make money off my hobby. That's great. But you keep on doing it and keep on doing it, and then it becomes your job, and then it's not as enjoyable, because now now it's your career, and now the pressure is on your job. And I feel like when you hear people be like, make your hobby your job, it sounds great in hindsight. Don't get me wrong, being a YouTuber is awesome, but it does remove the original happiness. Like when I bang a video nowadays, like if I get a really good like in terms of views, I get like high amount of views in a video, don't really feel anything, and that sounds sad. Unless if the video got like 1 million views in a day, obviously that'd be amazing. But like if I had a video that got 300k views in a day, that's fucking awesome. Fuck amazing. But I just don't care anymore, and I think it's like mainly just because it's like, great, like I can continue doing this thing.
It feels like a relief. That's all. That's like when a video does well, I'm like, oh, thank God. Like that's all. Yeah. Which is sad. It's sad to say, but to speak a little bit more about what you were talking about, and I think that especially with vlogs, especially like travel vlogs, right? Because you're kind of talking about that. I think there's like a shelf life to that stuff, because I think like, and I'm not the first person to say this. Let's be real, right? But the reason a lot of times those videos are popular and people enjoy them is because people feel like it's relatable, right? They're like, oh, this is someone traveling and they're making things work, and they're on this train, and wow, that train's crazy, and it's so like tight quarters, and like, man, that's probably what I would do if I traveled there, right? But then these videos get popular, these people, like, it becomes their job, and then now they're flying first class, and they're like, they have these mansions, and then people are like, the reason I came here now I just don't feel that connection. Not always, there's sometimes people like the fantasy kind of thing, but a lot of times, like, that's something I've noticed, especially with like a lot of the older travel vloggers, because I used to actually watch a lot of travel vlogs. People just ended up becoming, I think, less interested, because the vlogs ended up having a lot more ads in them, and it was clear that they were going here because they were paid by the company to come to this place and promote it, right? And people were just like, this is no longer what the reason that I signed up for this. And that's just, it's so common in so many different, YouTube spaces, right? Where it's like, you get popular because you're like, quote unquote, relatable. I was actually watching a video from one of my favorite creators, who I hope never has any sort of controversy, because it will literally break me. Danny Gonzalez. And this was on his second channel, because like, he's one of my, okay, maybe I shouldn't share this, because people are like, they're terrible, but whatever. So like, 3 of my favorite commentary creators are Drew Gooden, Danny Gonzalez, and Curtis Connor, right? And so like, a lot of times if I'm ever like bored and it's been a while since I've checked their channel, I'll always kind of go through their channels, right? So besides the point, but I was watching one of his videos that he just put out about this guy called Hub's Life, who he had a YouTube or an Instagram profile that the whole basis was he worked a 9 to 5. And so he filmed himself doing the boring stuff, right? Getting ready for work and all this stuff. But then the page did so well that he was able to leave his job. And then now he's making content that, he's at a new 9 to 5, where now he's not at an office anymore. He's actually just at some random WeWork for a couple hours, and now doing other random stuff. And it was like, there's nothing wrong with someone, making enough money and to become an influencer or, to chase their dreams. But it's like when the thing that got people to watch it was because your whole thing was like, it's okay to have a quote unquote boring job and just do the mundane stuff. And you don't have to be an influencer to be happy. Right. That was kind of his whole thing.
Yeah.
But then he was like, but I'm going to leave now because I can, right? And so people
and you can't blame him.
No, I really can't. It was just funny because the way the way that people started turning was he started replying to people very, I would say, rudely and like kind of just very like whatever, cry about it. Just passive aggressive is a better term. And it was like that's when people were like, dude, whatever, man. You know what I mean? And so, but sorry, that was kind of a long tangent, but it's something that you see so often just in social media in general. When the relatability leaves, people stop becoming interested. I think of like Emma Chamberlain. That was a huge one. Like I remember, like
when you're
she's
no
still
relatable.
She's still super popular, of course, but like the level of how unbelievably popular she was for like a year or however long.
In 2018, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was something along, and it was just everywhere. I even watched some of her videos. They were fun. She did a great job on them. I thought that like the editing was super quick and like fun, and you could see the influence that has gone on from there. But it was like, again, she moved to LA, had this huge house that she's in now, apartment, whatever. People were like, I'm not related. And then again, it was just, I'm not saying that it means that your channel is like crash and burns, but it's like people start to be like, okay, this isn't for me anymore, right? And I think that's fair. Like if people want to do that, and it's like, how do you transition from that? And I feel like she's done a relatively good job.
She's an interesting one.
I don't know her controversy, so I don't know. You guys,
I don't think she has. I don't know. As far as I know, she doesn't have any, but. She's an interesting one because she still uploads YouTube videos, but I wouldn't classify her as a YouTuber anymore. I'd say she's a celebrity. Like, I think she absolutely just... Like, she's at, like, all the major events and everything. Like, she does modeling and she has her own brands
like a coffee company or something like that?
Yeah, Chamberlain Coffee, I think it's called. Very original. I'm joking. But she's not really a YouTuber as much as she does upload to me anyway. She's like, when that unrelatable status came in and she started doing all these things, it was like, oh well, I guess you're a celebrity now, which is great. It's great, good, but like it's like, how do you, as you said, how do you balance that sort of thing of being unrelatable but also trying to remain relatable at the same time? And I think, like, fortunately, I've never had to go through that process. I feel like especially in our content, like, there doesn't necessarily need to be relatability. It just needs to be more like understanding things and explaining things and like just not being a dick, pretty much. I think if I moved into a mansion, my audience wouldn't care. And to be honest with you, if I moved into a mansion, I probably wouldn't tell my audience. But also, I never want to
just film in front of a green screen and just make. You're like, actually, I moved into a dungeon, you guys. Okay.
Yeah, I'm back in like my fucking 2-bedroom house from when I was like 12 years old. But just like green screen it in the background, just like I used to, like, I was explaining to my girlfriend the other day, I was like, for like 2 years straight, like I didn't have like a bed frame, and like the sounds, I don't care, like it was great. I enjoyed not having a bed frame because for some reason I just liked being on a mattress on the floor. Obviously that was just because we were broke, and I was just saying, like, in the green screen, just put like a mattress on the floor, like poorly photoshopped in, maybe put some rubbish on the floor. It's kind of like turning into like an Asmongold bedroom.
Dude.
Some bloodstains on the wall.
I don't even want to get into that. But like, it reminds me of like when some of the first videos I uploaded, like, a lot of them were like vlogs because that was just what was popular in fitness. But I was trying to do like talking videos, right? But I didn't we lived in a very crappy house that they tore down after we moved, right? Old as crap, but just poorly built. We had Section 8, which is like government assistance housing. So our landlord did not care. He did not do anything.
So it's it was just it's the equivalent of council housing.
Probably,
housing provided by the government.
Kind of. It was more the government provides some of the rent that like you don't.
Yes, that's.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So in the UK they have council housing, and then they have. I think it's called social housing, which is the more common thing nowadays.
Basically owned by the government housing.
Yeah. The landlord still owns the house, but the government pay a large portion of the rent, and the rent is also majorly reduced, or something like that. I can't remember
the way that they did it, and the reason our landlord liked that because he knew he was going to get paid every month regardless, and then our portion was, it wasn't nothing, but it wasn't the bulk, but whatever. So we couldn't have, and I lived in San Diego. I lived in San Diego my whole life, right, up until a few months ago. So it gets very, very hot. We lived in East County, very hot during the summer. But we couldn't have too many ACs on because it would trip the breaker and all the power would go off of the house, right? And so most of the time, if I did have an AC in the room, I couldn't run it a lot, right? And so I would be filming in my room, but I couldn't have any AC on, and I would be sweating, dude, because I couldn't even have a fan on because, again, this was like before there was really good mics and stuff, and it was just, and so I would just be like, I'd start a video, and then if you like fast forward it to the end, I'm just like drenched in sweat, and like I'm just like trying to get this video done as fast as I possibly can, but I don't know, that's kind of a tangent, but it's just funny to think about that.
Nah, it's interesting. It's interesting because obviously we have like pretty similar experiences with like, you know, being broke as shit in our childhood, pretty much. But I in my earlier videos, I have in the UK. Well, the flat I'm in now has AC because it's like fucking rich boy flat. But every other building like usually has no AC. Like ACs are very just.
That's how it is here. There's no central AC in this house.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's interesting.
I mean, maybe not old compared to.
Is it because it's like British? Like in terms of like, was it British occupied?
It's your fault, okay?
Yeah, no, it is.
It's just old because like this house was built, I think, in like the 1800s or something like that.
Did we still own? No, we didn't own you.
No. We 1776, right? Baby.
Yeah.
But I think it was built in like the 1800s, and I mean, there's stuff about it that's beautiful, like some of like the.
Like you crown ass building.
Yeah, like the crown molding and like the hardwood floors here. I mean, I think this that you can see is like redone, but like in a lot of areas, it's like you could tell it was like very nice, but there's no central AC, and most places
even take that shit back.
Yeah, even on the East Coast, like because it's just not it's not as hot, right? Versus like San Diego, it's like you have to have AC. Like for the most part. I mean, we that old house we didn't have it, but like so. We'll see how the summer goes here. I might be sweating my balls off.
I saw a graph the other day, and it was like going through the heat wave that we had in 2022, and it was like the worst heat wave in fucking years. And I don't know if this is a lot to you, but like in my flat where I was in the flat before where we didn't have AC, and in Fahrenheit it was 105 degrees for about a
gnarly,
week.
Dude. That's gnarly. That would be hot. That's hot.
Yeah, no AC, and also. I was that week was for one, it was the week where Elden Ring came out, but also it was the week where I was recovering from surgery. So I was not allowed to I wasn't even allowed to like go onto my balcony. I had to like stay in the dark and stuff because it like I had like cuts on my head and shit, and they had to recover. And I just remember just sitting in the dark in my office with a fan on me playing Elden Ring for like a week straight. And honestly, sounds pretty shit, but it was a great week because I fucking just got. Game. Yeah, I genuinely think I did about 50 plus hours in Elden Ring in 1 week. Yeah, it was great.
And you're like not even halfway through the game at that point.
Yeah. Dude, I don't think I ever technically finished Elden Ring. That's how, and I've got like 200 hours in that game. I just kept like exploring, then doing seamless co-op saves with my friends, and just like,
I want to try a new weapon. Let me restart.
Yeah. And eventually I just like buffed up my character so much that I was like just destroying bosses. So like not even with talent. It was like, I've just over leveled at this point. But that was a fun time. I actually I've been playing Oblivion recently, and it's like I had this realization that I'm not young anymore. When it was like I was playing the game for like an hour and a half, and I was like I actually do have a watch. I was like, oh, probably gotta go and do some shit. Like I got like priorities, and it's like it's so sad that I can't like. And I'm a YouTuber, it's my job, but like theoretically, in the grand scheme of things, people probably see me as unemployed. It's like I am unemployed. I can play as much video games as I like, but even in my mind, it's like I probably should be doing some shit.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Does I mean, your girlfriend's not like a social media person, right? She like has like a regular sort of job, right? Like an actual like proper. Yeah. Like my girlfriend is the same, and it's like I feel like that. I feel like if I had an influencer girlfriend, it would be different. But like seeing as my girlfriend does like a normal job, and I hear about her job, you know, like ask her how her day is and what she's doing at work. To me, it puts me in like a work mood. I need to work 9 to 5 and get things done, and it's a good thing. It's like a healthy thing. But it's like it also gives the negatives of like, I feel bad if I play a video game during like, if it's like 1 p.m. on a Monday and I'm playing, she'll text me being like, she's just been out of 4 meetings and it's like 1 p.m. and I'm just like fucking sat there in my boxes playing Oblivion.
You're like, man, that's crazy. Let me wipe this off.
Yeah, it's like wiping fucking like butter and toast off my shit.
No, I feel the same way. Like, because my girlfriend she works overnights, right? And so a lot of times she'll be like sleeping while I'm working, right? And so like I don't ever want to be like, okay, she just woke up from sleeping for however long. Oh, what'd you do today? I never want to be like, sat around and thought about work, but didn't do anything. You know what I mean? Like I never want to be like that. But I try to be like relatively self-motivated. It's one of those things that it's like, it's not a hard job, obviously, right? Like being a YouTuber, it's not a hard job. But I think like for me, the biggest thing is like,
I think it's harder than a 9 to 5. No, joking. That's just something.
All right, well, time for me to go. See you guys later. It was nice. But like the hardest part for me of an easy job, okay, again, I want to make that clear, is coming up with topics that I think are interesting enough to really make a video on. Because like, yes, there is always stuff, but I mean, obviously I have to be worried about like, I could talk about whatever I want, but obviously my channel is a very specific things that I talk about, and like I try to venture out and do stuff, and like I do that. But it's like, okay, I can't do it too much because the algorithm, if you like continue making videos that have nothing to do with why people are there, it just, so.
That's the thing, yeah. Like sometimes I'm like, maybe I could outreach to this thing, but it's like, even with like some commentary topics, I stay away from because it's like, yeah, I'll cover that, but I'm never going to come anywhere near that again. And I'm probably going to get an audience that come to my channel and just leave because it's like, I'm not here for that. But how do you reckon your audience would like, obviously we're going to speak about Jojo Siwa in a bit, like how do you think your audience would react if you just randomly dropped a video about like any Jojo Siwa controversy? Do you think they'd be like interested?
I think it wouldn't be like terrible, but it definitely, I mean, I would be surprised if it would be like a high performing video. But again, I mean, I like to think I know, but honestly, sometimes there's been times when I've been completely wrong. Like one of the better performing videos that I made within the last few years, it was like about this woman it was like this mom that was making like,
it's always a mom on TikTok.
Yeah, mom on TikTok. That's what it was. And it was like, I think I titled it something like the unhealthiest mom on TikTok, right? And like, it's
a great title.
I didn't think it was, I thought it would be okay, but it was like relatively niche from like, but it ended up doing really well, right? And so like there's the chance that it could do well, but I don't know for sure. But I think it's like, it's close enough to where it could make sense. But I'm not sure if I'll become a Jojo Siwa thing. But this dude, when you told me to look into it, when I looked into it, I was like, okay, this is not what I was expecting at all. But it's
dude, in my video, I did a video about it today because I was like, originally I was not going to do a video about it. Like I saw Jojo Siwa in Celebrity Big Brother, there's drama. I was like, I am not stooping that fucking low. But and then just more kept happening, and it's just all over my TikTok feed page. I literally just can't escape it. And I was like, fuck it, the algorithm is literally telling me to make a video on this shit. So I'm gonna make a video on it, and I've made a video on it, and basically I've just gone over the entire thing. And like there is some pretty interesting stuff that's come from it, to be fair. And I'm not gonna lie. Like it literally in the video, I was like, I'm not claiming to be better than anyone. I'm not claiming to be a god tier content creator. Maybe I want to be a little vermin and speak about some stupid relationship drama.
Yeah, I mean, compared to the other stuff we've talked about here, it seems relatively, I don't want to say harmless, but it's not world ending. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, I know. And I was kind of thinking that making a video, I was like, it's nice that to talk about something which it's interesting, but it's not. This YouTuber has fucking messaged a child. It's like, that's nice. That's nice, man. Well, I almost want to like, give a clap to Jojo for not messaging a kid. And although
hopefully
there was actually no. I'm not going to anything into that. I'm saying she's basically a kid herself at this point. But no, I was going to say I also saw that James Charles was being called out for not like messaging a kid recently, but like the controversy came back. Maybe we'll get into that later, but if not, maybe next week. But yeah, so to to kind of explain to the audience that some maybe don't know what's going on. So, do you have Big Brother in the US?
Yeah.
I think you do, right? Yeah. Big Brother's huge, man. Like, it's like, I think it kind of died off for a bit, but recently it's just gotten really big again. And I think it's because of the celebrity versions of it. And the UK Celebrity Big Brother this year was stacked. It had like Mickey Rourke, whatever his name is. He's an Oscar winner. I personally just know him for getting like smoked by Iron Man in Iron Man
me
2.
too. It's the guy from Iron Man. Meanwhile, he's probably been in like a bunch of movies.
When I saw Jojo Siwa like homophobically abused in the Big Brother house, I was like, shit, man, that's crazy. I like clicked on the article. I'm like, this guy from Iron Man 2. I was
Iron Man
like,
guy? Come on, Iron Man guy.
Yeah, he got beat up by Iron Man.
Did you see the reviews of that new Marvel movie? Apparently, it's actually really good.
Dude, I'm seeing it tomorrow. I'm seeing it tomorrow at 4 p.m. I'm hyped for that.
Yeah,
it's like the reviews for that are like best Marvel movie in years. I'm I'm actually kind of gassed to see that shit.
I'm excited.
You gonna see it?
I'm not sure if I'll see it in theaters, but I don't know. It'd be fun because me and Amanda were talking about we haven't been to the theaters in quite a long time. We always forget to do stuff together because we live together now. So we're like, oh yeah, we should probably do stuff together. So maybe, but we'll see. Because I know that there's that Michael B. Jordan movie is really good. Apparently, like a lot of people. Yeah, apparently people are. So like, I don't know. Like between choosing those, I don't know. But like the Thunderbolt one seems like fun, and the other one seems a little more heavy. And so I just don't.
See, I thought Sinners is definitely going to be more depressing.
Yeah.
But it's still fucking awesome. Apparently, I've not seen it yet. But Thunderbolts, I was like listening to some reviews yesterday, and they were like, yeah, this film is like different because it's like a Marvel movie that actually has like a plot, like an actual story. And I was like, what do you mean by that? And they were like, think about Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Have you seen that one?
Mm-hmm.
That film is amazing, right? Like it's got like a whole on storyline and everything there, and like there's clearly a plot, there's clearly like a villain with reasons, and there's like an actual reason to like it. Like there's some like real like tear gushing moments in that film. But then you think of like Ant-Man Quantumania. I don't know if you've seen that, but it's just like the definition of pure fucking slop. But they were like, the Thunderbolts is about like, the main plot is basically the heroes are losers and they're all suffering with like depression, and like it's about overcoming that, and it's like a massive
just like me.
There's like some yeah. It seems like very like basic, but it's like it's just nice to hear a Marvel movie actually have some like substance. And it's also apparently like a lot of the production team from the Netflix show Beef are behind it, and I really like that show. I don't know if you've seen it. Really good show.
Is do you know if Mickey Rourke is in it?
Do you reckon like they're gonna send the fucking Mandarin after Jojo Siwa next? There's gonna be Thanos coming after her. Josh Brolin's gonna fucking be in the next Big Brother house.
I am inevitable.
Jojo Siwa.
Oh man.
We know what you did. But no, sorry, we've diverted, but that's fine. We're on a podcast. But to be fair, Iron Man did absolutely smoke him at the F1 track.
It's true. And now, now we know he deserved it. All right.
Yeah.
We're not even sad.
Him and that fucking bird, if anyone remembers the bird. But to be fair, I didn't realize he'd won an Oscar. Did you know that?
No.
What did he win? Should we Google it? I didn't do in my video. I'm just like, yeah, apparently he's an Oscar winner. What did he win an Oscar for? He won it in 2000. Don't fucking say he won it for Iron Man. Surely not.
Is it really?
No, I don't think it is. Hold on.
I'm always amazed at how unbelievably fast you type things up and look them up, because I'm like, all right, let me look this up. Just give me 10 minutes.
Apparently he won it in 2009. No,
what was it? I was gonna say that was around when Iron Man came out, right? Iron Man 2.
No, I'm just gonna have to chat GPT this. I'm sorry, guys.
We're
burning one ice cap here. Did Mickey
God.
Rourke win an Oscar? Okay, give me the answer. Search new. I could do this myself, but none of the articles are appearing. Oh, he hasn't won an Oscar, but he was nominated. He was nominated for Best Actor in 2009 for the performance in The Wrestler. Yeah, I've not watched that movie, to be honest. Have you seen it?
I don't think I have either.
Yeah, I think I've heard about it though, to be fair. But no, he didn't. He didn't win it. He lost to Sean Penn, who won it for his role in Milk. Again, a film that I've not seen.
Oh, I think that was about like a politician. I think was his name Harvey Milk? He was like, I think it was like a openly gay politician. That ended up like there was some.
Did he go
I
on
don't
Big
know.
Brother?
I think he ended up getting assassinated or something like that, and so it's like a big. He's like a big, like person in like the LGBT scene. I don't know, dude. I'm sounding like an idiot. You guys, you tell us, okay, please.
You sound like an uncle trying to.
I know, dude. I know.
All that woke stuff.
No, it's great. It's great, but I'm pretty sure that's
joke.
who that is. I'm pretty sure that's who that is.
Yeah. No Iron Man in that one. But,
and that's, maybe they would have all won an Oscar if Iron Man was in it, but it's all good.
Iron Man 1, that surely was nominated for an Oscar. That was a good movie. I really like that movie.
I mean, it changed things for a long time. Like Marvel movies, like Iron Man kind of started it off, and it's just crazy to think like before Iron Man came out, right? Iron Man was not that many people cared about Iron Man. Like when you asked people about who's your favorite superhero, it was like Superman, Batman, Spider-Man. Those were the main ones. Maybe Hulk.
No one's saying Iron Man.
No one said Iron Man. Like no one said Thor, right?
Yeah,
and again, I'm sure you're. I did. Okay,
Black
that's great
Widow?
for you. I'm saying like for the Who's your favorite superhero, dude? I freaking love Hawkeye, dude. My favorite super. Like, come on.
To be fair. No one's fucking saying Hawkeye even now, to be fair. Like, no. We've all got the Jeremy Renner rap, but no one's saying Hawkeye.
Yeah, dude. Oh, man. We have gotten off
I'm saying,
so bad.
but I think my favorite superhero is Whiplash from Iron Man 2 2010.
Oh, my God. My favorite has always, and I've always said this, was Green Lantern. But now I can't say that because the movie was so bad.
See, I don't know anything about DC other than like,
dude, I just honestly I liked him because he was green, and that was my favorite color growing up. And I was like, okay, is Green Lantern superhero?
Is there good stories there? Because like Green Lanterns unfortunately got like a horrible reputation. Like it's kind of crazy that one film, I think it was a film, piece of media can just destroy an entire character.
I think it's The Darkest Night or The Blackest Night is like a run of like, it's like a storyline, which is pretty. I thought it was pretty good. So if you ever want to read something, look that up. But pretty good.
I've never read a comic book
or something. Really? I haven't. I mean, I'm not gonna be honest. I'm not like a super huge comic fan. There was like a little period of time where I was, and so I was like, oh, let's look up Green Lantern stuff. And I looked it up, and people were like, this is a really good storyline. And I was like, okay, I'll look.
I feel like we seem like the type of people that like read comics.
Yeah, but we're just posers.
Kids.
Yeah, we're just posers.
Yeah. I've read manga like a little bit. Like, dude, over there in that little, you can't see it, but I've got like a shelf. I've got every single annual of Attack on Titan, like 30. I'm not even joking. 35 books. Fuck no. I've read like one, if that.
Did you even you looked through one?
Well, I think the most criminal part is I actually rebought some of them on my Kindle. That's like. Because I was like, I don't want to walk around with these, man. Like, not because I'm embarrassed, but it was just like, it's so much easier on a Kindle to read. Like, reading on, like, I know there's like a lot of people that hate reading on Kindles, but like, dude, I love it. It's like easy to hold. I don't have to like bend the book over. I am actually reading a book right now, which is new for me. I'm reading. It's I'm gonna sound like someone who's trying to be a poser. Actually, the book like it touches on like a lot of like feminist issues and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. And you're 6'5", by the way.
Yeah. I've got a mullet. I drink oat lattes.
Where's your mustache, dude? Come on, I'm blowing mine out.
Actually, I need to send you an image. I posted it on my Twitter account the other day, on my private Twitter account that none of you guys are gonna see. I posted this, and it's like. Unfortunately, it comes after a lot of YouTubers that we probably watch. I'll send it to you. I'll put it on. If I remember, I'll put it on screen right now.
Oh my, yeah, it's 100.
So for the people listening, it's evil doesn't die; it reinvents itself. And on the left, it's like 2015 core. Like,
I should be able to show it on my side. I think this will pop up for them to see.
Oh, really?
I think so in the recording. Yeah.
Okay, so for the audio, if there is any audio, to be honest, I've not put it on Spotify for a while. I don't think anyone listens to it on Spotify. YouTube's just a better one. So it's like on 20. You got like a 2015 Harry Styles-esque man bun with long hair, like a weird hat, and like a. The thing is, I know when I went to uni in 2015, and I knew so many guys that dressed like this, and I used to get almost kind of mad. There was this one guy in my uni course that would turn up every fucking day for 3 years straight in like the snazziest little suits, and I'm like, good for you, man, but some of us just aren't that put together. Like some of us can't do that, like and not because of like a financial situation, just like I was such a mess at university, man. Like like if you heard about first year university me, I feel like it's like it's a different human being. It's like insane. I was going out like 5 nights a week. Like it was like, dude, I was fucking Mr. Socialite back then. But yeah, I should also say then on the right, it goes to the evil reinvents itself, and it's like a mullet, very very skinny, the minimalistic tattoos and everything like that. You can kind of picture the guy. I don't know who would have a mullet, to be honest with you. Wait, is yours a mullet right now?
No, it's not. It's long, okay? It's all long.
Oh, okay. I because you were wearing a hat, I couldn't tell.
I have had a mullet though.
I know you've had a mullet. I didn't know if it was right. It's still that right now. But back to it. Jojo Siwa, I'm sure she's had a mullet.
Oh yeah,
I think. And the guy from Iron Man 2. Yeah. So Jojo went on Celebrity Big Brother. And yeah, the first thing I kind of saw was like, yeah, Jojo Siwa was actually receiving homophobic abuse by this Mickey guy from Iron Man 2. Sorry, I've got to stop saying that. And
what was his name in Iron Man 2? Just start calling him that.
Whiplash. I think it was Whiplash. Let me just
freaking Whiplash, man. Stop with this. It's unacceptable.
So Whiplash broke out of the vault, and he he got invited onto Celebrity Big Brother by Kevin Feige, and Loki was gonna be there, but he was too big for it. Oh shit, he actually died in Iron Man 2. I didn't realize that.
I thought you were just like, oh, he died. And I was like, oh my God, Jesus Christ.
In Big Brother. He was homophobic and he just got fucking pummeled into the ground by someone there.
Oh, man.
So he was homophobic so what he actually said was really insane. Like, Jojo was basically speaking about like being a lesbian and, you know, only into girls and stuff like that. And sorry, it's a horrible way of explaining it, but yeah, she said that, and the instant response he basically had is he went up to her and like whispered in her ear, "If you're here for longer than 4 days, you'll no longer be a lesbian." And she replied being like, "No, I will be, and I'll be in a happy relationship," which obviously has not aged well. Yeah, I'll talk about that right now. And then he was like, "I'll tie you up," like whispering that to her, and yeah, obviously really creepy. But then on top of it, he goes like, "I need to go out for an FAG." Obviously, I know the context of it is like saying I want to go out for a FAG. It's like in British and Australian terms, it's terms for I want to go out for a cigarette. But then he goes, he says, "I'm not talking about you, by the way," pointing at Jojo. Obviously, he was just trying to like be homophobic trying to be funny.
That's gnarly, dude.
And yeah, it's crazy. And by the way, I know like, legally being British, I can say the word like I'm gonna go out for but I'm not even risking it. I don't know what the social climate of the world is gonna be like in 5 years. I ain't doing it. And even as a bisexual guy, still not doing it. Not risking it. I see like people on Twitter being like, the R word is back. It's like, all right, see, your employers are gonna see that in 4 years time, and good luck. Like I know how this shit works. Like the world in terms of what's acceptable, like it just flips, and I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
It goes back and forth for sure.
Yeah. But in general, like, it was a crazy thing to do. Like, have you seen the clips of it?
No, I just watched like some videos of basically people kind of talking about it, because I'm assuming they probably didn't include it because copyright and stuff. They probably get in trouble. But yeah, so I hadn't seen the actual clips, but I got the context, you know what I mean, of it, and I was just like, yikes. I didn't realize he was like whispering it into her ear. That's even creepier for sure.
Yeah, no, he was like full on like going up to like arm round sort of thing and just being like pretty much like in a really creepy way. And obviously,
because he's like significantly older as well.
72. 72 fucking years
grandpa,
old.
Like, please leave me alone.
Yeah, to be fair though, 10 years ago he was Whiplash, which is crazy.
It's true.
Like, 62 fighting Iron Man, you gotta respect that. No, obviously, really bad thing. And to be fair to Jojo, like, I'm not like a person that really praises Jojo often, but she actually handled it in like a really good way. She, well, she kind of had to, which was like, the crazy part was, it's like, he wasn't kicked off the show. He was like brought into the diary room, which is like where they speak to Big Brother. And they were like, your behavior has been terrible. This is your final warning, pretty much. And it's like, I don't know. I don't know about you, but I just feel like I feel like on television, it's very different to the internet. Maybe if it was like an internet show, maybe I'd get it. Kind of not, but on television I feel like there's like certain standards that need to be like maintained, and I feel like when you're being directly homophobic to someone who's just simply told you that they're a lesbian, it's like, no, I feel like you should be removed. But for like the comfortability of the people in the Big Brother house, I feel like it's just like, you got to make sure the people on the show are comfortable, and he's blatantly made Jojo uncomfortable. She's like crying, and it's like a really awkward, horrible thing to witness. And her partner came out on their TikTok, where they came out and spoke about it, basically condemning it, and Jojo's mom did the exact same thing. And it's like clear that they wanted this person out, but nothing happened. And eventually he did get kicked out, but it wasn't because of Jojo. It was because he had a non-physical confrontation with one of the male people in there, of where Big Brother said that he was coming off like in a threatening way. And like, again, I don't want to be that one friend who's too woke, but it is a bit interesting that like he was only removed once one of the straight guys in there was like intimidated by him, not when he was actively homophobic towards one of the younger stars in there.
Yeah, it's interesting, man. I mean, it's just like, it's weird because obviously this, whoever's making Big Brother, I don't know who's behind it, but they, drama like that, that's good stuff for them. You know what I mean? That's going to get people to watch. We're talking about it, right? And it gets people like, I'm going to be completely honest. I didn't realize there was a UK version of Big Brother.
I'm pretty sure we invented Big Brother,
okay,
right?
well, we made it better here, brother. Okay.
Like you do with most things.
Yeah, no, I don't know about that. But I mean,
to be fair, politically, I'll agree. Yeah, I don't know about that. But
yeah.
Well, I'm trying to actually taking it back. I'm trying to think, what has America made better?
Hollywood, man. We made Iron Man 2.
You fucking made Whiplash. Holy shit, yeah. But to be fair, I think the big fight that he had with Iron Man was actually at the Monaco GP. So this is like a dub for the French, I think.
All right, French. But I am French, so I'll take that one.
What?
Yeah,
You're not French.
Yeah, I am.
You're part French?
Yeah. Claude.
Really?
That's my last name, yeah. I don't know. Does that sound French? I think it's like,
I think we may have touched
I think it's like a pretty significant, like 30 or more percent, I think.
Oh, like me with Spanish then. Do you reckon our ancestors fought each other then? Like
Probably. It explains our dynamic on the podcast.
To be fair, I mean, there's like, we've got the Spanish. I don't know, to be honest, I don't know if the Spanish versus the French ever happened, but they're next door to each other, so I'm kind of guessing.
I'm sure.
Obviously, English versus Americans, like one of the oldest rivalries going.
Yeah. I mean, definitely ask me more stuff about history, because Americans are known for knowing world history very well. So,
one thing Americans are really known for is knowing geography.
Yeah, dude.
Geography is I didn't realize that geography just isn't. Apparently, I don't know for you, but apparently it's not taught in schools in America.
I don't know, man. I mean, I didn't pay attention much in school, and so I couldn't even tell you what I learned at this point.
No, but like, did you not have like designated, like you'd have like designated English and math lessons?
There was a geography class. Yeah, like I had my geography teacher. I took geography in 9th grade, and I think he was actually one of my favorite teachers. He was a fantastic teacher. Shout out to Mr. Davidson. But he always said, like, to understand, before you can understand history, you have to understand geography. That was like a big thing he talked about, because like in 9th grade, which is like for us, that's the first year of high school. I don't know. Yeah. It's hard to explain, but like,
well, geography is like the main contributing factor to history, because like just based on like the geographic locations of everything, like even, sorry to go on a bit of a historical ramble here, but like post World War II, when Europe was absolutely like in a mess because of what happened. Like Europe was just utterly destroyed. It needed to rebuild. But America, they didn't have to rebuild anything, because like there was one attack on America during the whole war, and that's just a case of,
we said, all right, y'all ever heard of a nuke?
Oh shit! Yeah. Yeah, like you got like
another one. Oh my god! Okay,
dude, sorry. I actually went to the Hiroshima. This is a little story I can tell. So we've gone from Jojo Siwa to Hiroshima, to big bombs.
Don't even do it.
Too explosive topics. No, I can't. I'm sorry. It was a long time ago. I feel like we can make jokes. People make 9/11 jokes. I feel like we can make nuclear bomb jokes. I condemn the American government. All right, it was a bad thing. It was a bad thing. It was a horrible thing. I'm not laughing about this, but explosive topic aside, I went to the Hiroshima. I was actually kind of like despicable what I witnessed. It was I was at, it's kind of funny though. I was out, there's like one remaining building that like they kept up to like remind the world of what happened. Like, and it's pretty fucking harrowing when you see it. Like like it's all like gated round, but you can see inside the building, all the rubble is still there. And like, it's just basically the outer layer of this building. And, this American couple fucking get in the middle of like the, of where like the main bit is. And they're like, they go up to this person and be like, yo, can you take a photo for us, man? And they go, jeez, like that in front of it. And I'm like, oh my God. And then this other American group come over, like a big American group. They're all like vlogging and laughing and stuff. And I'm like, I just felt like there was going to be a bit more, not like tranquility, but like somberness. Yeah. Like I was like very, very surprised. And like, to be fair, it was like an outdoors bit, I guess, but and Hiroshima, the actual city, has moved on. Like, not hasn't moved on, but like in the sense of like it's rebuilt. It's an amazing city, and like jokes aside, so much respect for what like the fact that they managed to rebuild that. Obviously, it's never going to paper over the Japanese war crimes, but it was an atrocity, and I was very surprised at the just based on like if you were to go to Auschwitz. The whole thing there is like, it's meant to be the most harrowing experience possible. But like, I was kind of expecting a familiar, like for me, it was like I can make jokes now because I'm nowhere near it, but like actually being there, it was like real like dark energy. Like, I'm not like into that sort of thing, but like, it was
you're
like,
standing where literally thousands of people just
evaporated.
Like,
like
crazy.
And then you go into the museum and like, it's graphic. They show you some shit in there, bro. And it's like I've always been against nuclear weapons, and like the like fundamentally what happened in Hiroshima and Nagasaki is one of the biggest war crimes in history. But I may offend some Americans there, but like killed like hundreds of thousands dead, and it's like when you come out of that, the anti-nuclear sentiment only doubles for me personally. It was just like insane to witness.
Well, it's interesting because I was actually watching this. I think it might have been a YouTube video, but it was like talking about this is so random, but there's a connection. Okay, talking about how like will we ever actually find another planet that has basically humans on it, right? And it was talking about how like a lot of like one theory is that we might not ever find that place because a lot of like the theory is that when humans get to a point where, or just any sort of life gets to a point where they could invent something to travel across the cosmos, that the infighting ends up becoming nuclear war, and they just destroy the planet, and then that's it. Like it just is like, because of. I just thought it was very interesting. I was like, I mean,
and it could be like a repeated effect that happens like throughout the universe. Like. And it's kind of like a terrifying thought because it's like, how far would we be off that theory? Because we're getting into talking about like Mars and going back to the moon and stuff like that. I feel like we're probably a good 100 years away from intergalactic travel and stuff. And to be honest, I'm kind of glad that I'm not alive around that time period, because it very much feels that right now a lot of world governments are kind of like changing from, hey, let's not like save the planet and protect the planet. Let's actually just prioritize getting to Mars. And it's like, guys, we got a whole fucking planet here, man. It's some good shit we've got. Like, we've got like
that's been around for so long. Like that's something me and Amanda talk about a lot. Is like I look at trees, right, that are huge trees. These things have been around for hundreds of years, right? Like when you think about it, like the planet is theirs. It's their planet. They're here much longer than we are, or like rocks, right? Like much longer than we are. It's just. I don't know. It's just crazy to think that that's like been something that has like I'm not gonna be like I'm the most no, okay, let's just be real, but it definitely has like shifted how I think. And like we were talking about this today when we were on a walk. Like when I was younger, I remember I would like, you go around, you like mess with trees, maybe break a branch off, just not really thinking about it. But now I would never do that intentionally, because like that branch has probably been growing for 50 years or maybe even more. And like just for me to be like, no, like I couldn't imagine.
Dude, in the UK, there's this. So we have the Hadrian's Wall, which is a really big fucking wall. Like imagine like a mini wall of China, right? Mm-hmm. And there's this like dip in the middle of it, and there's this massive tree, right? It's been there for like 300 years, I think. It's like a very touristy spot. It's a beautiful scene. And these two dudes 2 years ago, in their car, middle of the night with a chainsaw, they cut the thing down. It's like crazy. And today they're actually being in court, being prosecuted for it. And apparently they're getting like,
give them the death penalty.
Big. Yeah, dude. I saw like a comment being like, let's just fucking kill these guys. To be honest, like, I'm not saying to do it, but I'm saying like,
that's just crazy, man. It's just
big penalty needed.
Some people are just so like self-centered to where it's like, well, I can do it because I can do it. It's like, just because you can do something doesn't mean that you should.
Free will is a crazy thing, though, isn't it? Like, you could just, like, you can, like, right now, you could go out and just do, like, if you wanted to, like, obviously it's the most heinous thing, but you could go out and commit a horrible crime. You could, like, just go out and just kill, like, so many people. Like, sounds horrific to say, but, like, you have a thing in your mind, empathy, like, your conscience and everything, like, builds up to not do these things. And it's like, well, obviously, killing and destroying a tree is two different things, but... destroying such a historic landmark and such a thing that's been there for hundreds of years, I just don't get how a human can be at that point in their mind, if you know what I mean. It's not like it was like a woodland area being used for resources. It was just a historic landmark that people go to, and it's like, I've just always, you know, when you're like out in public and you see someone like just being a major goofball, just I saw this guy
about themselves, and
I saw a guy on TikTok the other day of like this American dude in the Tokyo metro, and he had this big speaker, and he was doing like just playing this loud music for a TikTok to annoy everyone and rage bait them. But it's like, I just don't get how someone can get to that point of lack of caring or like lack of like shame of I don't get how anyone can get there. And going back to this tree thing, these people seemingly are going to get big time, and I hope so, because like as you said, like trees and stuff like that, it's like interesting that humans have been here, like the Industrial Revolution, what was like late 1800s, we've theoretically, humans as now have been here for like 125 years in the sense of like technologically advanced. And it's incredible that this million year old place we fucked in the space of like 0.0001% of its existence. It's insane.
Yeah. I mean, it's like how old the Earth is versus how much damage we've done in a small amount of time. It really is kind of. It's sad to think about, but you know, I don't know. Like I have thoughts on it. I'm not obviously the most well-researched person on it, but it was definitely interesting, like watching that video and like just seeing, like you were explaining, just like when we look at the timeline of how long Earth has been around, and then like you look at how long like dinosaurs were around, and then how long we've been just a little dot, like just nothing, and how much we've done in that time. It's bizarre. It's crazy.
Wasn't there even a period before the dinosaurs where there were like giant bugs or something? Like, wasn't that the first period?
I don't know about that, but there was definitely a lot of time before obviously dinosaurs even existed and stuff like that.
But we've been here for like what, like 100, like the Earth was like 400 million years old or something like that. 2,000 years if you believe in certain.
What do you mean? The Earth is only like 3,000 years old. What are you talking about?
The Earth is. Oh, okay. I'm fucking out. I am far off, my friend. 4.5 billion years.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Yeah. I mean, literally, like one point, the continent was all conjoined. Like it was all super Pangea. Like that's how old this place is. There's been enough time for that to separate humans to come, dinosaurs to come, big bugs to come, Jojo Siwa and Whiplash and Iron Man to come. Like it's
and like, you're here for that, baby. That's what you're here for, Jojo Siwa and Iron Man guy.
Do you ever think about that though? Like, out of all the shit to happen in history, this is the bit we're at. Like, I don't know. And to be fair, I do, as much as we can criticize humanity, we are obviously at the best possible point of existence. Like, the world, it sounds crazy to say, but it is the safest it's ever been. It's the best it's ever been. And like, I feel like that's like maybe a bit of hopium, but like, obviously in a lot of countries, there's terrible things going on. There's a genocide going on right now. But at the same time, it's not justifying or like pushing things aside here, but I'm trying to explain, like, we do have countries where there is healthcare, there is human rights, there is the ability to own your own home, work your job, have kids in a safe environment and stuff like that. Not every place, but hundreds of years ago, there was like no places for that. There was there was the rich, they could do that. Everyone else was just fucking fighting amongst themselves. Basically, every government was a fascist dictatorship ruled by a king, and there was just constant war.
Why are you talking about America right now? I don't understand.
That's like, dude. If we go political, it's gonna go on for 3 hours. But yeah, I think ultimately the world is in a good spot. Maybe we could be doing a bit more to help out, but you know.
And you know what we could do? Talk about Jojo Siwa, and that's what we should do.
I think the audience are going to love hearing us speak about history and geography in the midst of Jojo Siwa. I mean, surely people that isn't that what a podcast is for though? Yeah. Isn't to just divert into shit off like the Jojo Siwa versus Whiplash story. Yeah. But yes, going back into the news, Jojo Siwa. Obviously, that whole thing happened. The guy eventually got kicked off the show for a multitude of things. Apparently, he made a sexual comment towards somebody else on the show. Intimidation. I can't believe we just jumped straight back into that. That's hilarious. We should get an award for how good we are just jumping straight back into it. But yeah, intimidation, homophobia, a lot of things. And like, I personally don't really know what the guy was hoping. Like, in my video, I'm speculating a little bit, being like, maybe he thought, given like the whole anti-woke sentiment in the world right now, that maybe people would find it entertaining. But like, let's be real, the only people, like 90% of the people that watch Big Brother are gay people. Like, I'm not gonna lie, everyone I know that's gay watches Big Brother. It's like gay people and my mother. That's it. There's no other people that watch Big Brother. And it's like, if you thought you were gonna come onto Big Brother and be homophobic and get away with it,
oh my god,
my brother in Christ, you're not getting away with that shit.
No notes. I mean, you keep.
Am I wrong?
Dude. Yeah.
Am I
wrong?
Don't
know. I mean, I can say for myself, I am not gay, and I don't watch Big Brother,
I'm bi.
so I can, you. So what do you like? Just watch? You just like watch a little bit.
Well, this is the thing. I do dabble, and like in my video, like I'm referencing, like I'm talking about Love Island as well, and I'm like referencing characters from like people from Love Island from like 4 seasons ago, and it's like, I mean, even in the video, I'm like, why do I know these things? My mind has been plagued by the fact that I will actually watch a bit of Love Island, and I don't. Do you know what Love Island is, right? Yeah. And it's like I watched like 2 seasons of Love Is Blind on Netflix. Fucking no idea why. I hate that shit. It's so trashy.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's also kind of good at the same time. I think it's like
watching the car wreck, right? Like, you just can't kind of look away. Especially, like, there's something to be said about watching stuff that kind of makes you feel better about your situation. You're like, well, I would definitely never do that. So,
I would definitely not get beat the fuck out of by Iron Man.
Yeah, exactly. Like, or if he said that to me, I would have done this, and like,
I would have got the Infinity Stones.
I would have snapped him away. But yeah, so like, but yeah, I thought that was interesting. But then, like, it was just. When I heard that, I was like, man, that's terrible. But then the other stuff that ended up happening, I was like,
cheating.
Oh my god, dude! Like, it was like like he called it or something. I feel like he's like hovering over, like, I told you so or something.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like, she's word for word, she was like, I am a lesbian and I will be in a happy relationship. Both things just aren't true anymore. My personal favorite quote was when she goes, "Fuck the L, I'm joining the queue." And I feel like she was like hoping that was going to be clipped up on TikTok, like, damn. But like, no, I feel like she just upset a lot of lesbians out there who were like, that's a really, I feel like there's better ways to pull it. Like I said this in my video, I was like, I get what she's saying, like she's on her personal journey, but being like word for word, fuck lesbians, I'm queer now. It's like, you can word that in a better way. You can say, I am on a journey,
Mm-hmm.
the journey of life, and I'm no longer subscribing to only women.
Yeah.
I now like a lot of things.
It's a spectrum, man. It's a spectrum. Can
exactly,
you
man.
just for people that maybe have no idea, right? They haven't seen your video or whatever. Like, what's like general overview of what happened to where, like, with everything with Jojo and stuff.
So yeah. Guy gets kicked out, and then
Whiplash.
this guy called Chris. Oh, my camera's died.
Oh, I can still see you.
Wait, really?
Oh, now I can't.
It says that there's a high temperature.
Oh yeah, that happens to mine sometimes.
Is that a battery? Can I like just take out the battery?
You can try, but you might, if you have like a fan, if you can point it at the camera, that might help as well.
Maybe if I try.
But I usually just turn my camera off and on, and it'll help. But if you have like a fan that you can point at it too, that might help.
Is it like an actual camera issue, or is it a battery?
It's usually just
issue?
the battery is getting too hot.
And let me fill the battery. Oh yeah, that battery is boiling.
Yeah.
Okay, I've put in another battery, but I'm not sure how much power this has. Let me see. We're keeping this in the podcast.
Okay, perfect.
Oh no, it is the camera. Damn, what do we do here?
It's black again.
Do
Do you have a little fan you can point at it?
I actually don't have a fan.
You don't?
Like,
well, we can just get through this little last part, and that'll be the podcast. I mean, I don't know.
yeah, I mean, how long have you got? Have you got much time?
No, I mean, not super, a ton of time.
Okay. Would people mind if it's just not my face? Is that
you just put up a lovely picture of you with an egghead or something, and you'll be good.
Yeah, it's like actually become a podcast at this point. I'm gonna try and plug it in one last time.
Okay.
Like, we're going back to traditional no video podcasts. Man, I'm trying to get this in with no audio. This sounds crazy. Hold on, guys. The file would have saved though, right? It is on, but
oh, okay. I see the little thingy.
Yeah. How long is it going to stay on for?
We'll see. Speed run the controversy.
We're back. We're back. I don't know how long for. So, Mickey, got kicked out for being homophobic, and then this guy called Chris Hughes started to get involved. He was somebody that pretty much confronted Mickey, was like, you can't say these things, you can't do these things. I feel like I am really trying to speedrun this. Mm-hmm. And then because of that, Jojo was like, oh, this is a really nice guy. And yeah, to be fair, like, full compliments to the guy, confronting someone over that sort of thing. I really do respect it. And then it kind of got a bit weird because him and Jojo...
And Jojo's in a relationship with a woman.
Yeah, Jojo Siwa is in not a woman, a non-binary person.
Oh,
I should just clarify. Yeah,
Jesus.
No worries. You didn't know. Yeah, I should I don't want to upset anyone. I'm not trying to cause any issues here. But yeah, they were in a relationship, and they basically went onto national television, and they were getting... Have you seen the clips? Have you seen any of the photos? They were getting a little bit too close with this Chris person.
Yeah. I saw that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So they were like snuggling in bed, scratching each other's backs in bed whilst cuddling, like sitting on top of each other.
Jojo and Chris are doing this.
Yeah. Peeing in litter trays together. This is a legitimate thing that they did on there. Yeah, they there was like a big litter tray, and they were dressed as cats, and they both like in front of each other were pissing in the tray.
I'm not even gonna say anything.
Yeah, I was like, why do I was like, I feel uncomfortable. I feel like I'm witnessing something that should stay in the bedroom.
That's
man.
for the
keep that in
man.
there. Yeah. Man, we don't want to upset those guys.
Sorry.
We're gonna have Whiplash coming after us, and we're gonna have the Furries coming after us.
We're on our own island, man.
Yeah, but not the MVs. They're on our side. Yeah, so that happened, and it obviously like immediately created a lot of like controversy because, you know, cheating on your partner. Like, Jojo claims that she didn't cheat. She claims that it was like a platonic thing. They were just very close. But I'm not gonna lie. Like, if your girlfriend went onto TV in Big Brother and they're cuddling with someone, and so actually, they're cuddling with another. Your girlfriend's straight, right? Mm-hmm. They're cuddling with like another woman, but like it's like really, really close. They're like on top of each other, like snuggling intimately, scratching each other's back, writing little hand notes on each other's hands whilst they're in bed at night together.
And it would make me uncomfortable if she also was saying, I think I'm bi. And I'm like, what the
Yeah,
what is going on right now?
That was another thing. Halfway through the show, she decides that she's no longer lesbian and she's now queer. And obviously, that's a bit of a big revelation to have, especially when so many people are saying JoJo is cheating. Now their partner sees that JoJo is on TV doing all these things, and suddenly they've changed their sexuality. I mean, it's a crazy thing to do. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, even if they didn't change their sexuality on TV, like if I had a partner who was straight but was like doing what JoJo was doing with, and they were doing it with another woman, I would be like, that's you're breaching some serious boundaries there. Like, I did actually remember seeing like a TikTok a few months ago where it was like it was like a skit of like the gay best friend is hanging out with the girl that you're dating, and the gay best friend kisses the girl, and it's like, do you have a right to be uncomfortable? And I fundamentally think that you do. Like that's like just because they're gay doesn't mean that like they can get away with kissing the person you're in a relationship with. Like, that's a boundary breach.
Yeah, especially if it's not like a thing that you kind of know, or like it's a joke. You know what I mean? Like there's obviously nuance, but if it's like out of nowhere. I'd be like, what the? That'd be really weird.
Yeah, 100%. And then the same logic is applied here, but obviously the changing sexuality was crazy. It was like, and I think that just in general, it caused a lot of shit. And then I don't know if you saw, but then the partner, I can't remember their name, they got onto a TikTok, and it was a 13-minute TikTok, and pretty much they were just documenting how awful it was to witness for like 2 weeks straight JoJo cheating on them. And I can't imagine how it feels to like be in a relationship with someone and then see them go into the Big Brother house, you have no contact with them, and then see them cheat on you for 2 weeks straight, and you can't even get mad at them because there's no ways of contacting them. Like, what do you even do in that situation?
Dude, I have no idea, man. Like, I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine being her partner and JoJo's partner, and feeling like maybe betrayed, right? I don't know exactly how this person felt, right? But feeling these types of feelings. You said that did they mention how they felt? Like, did they say that I felt betrayed?
Oh yeah, they basically said they felt absolutely terrible. Like, basically they were saying some pretty like big things, like effectively claiming that they were being love bombed by JoJo. Well, now they believe that they were love bombed by JoJo, and that's why they were so in love with JoJo, because they also were like, I looked past a lot of red flags. A lot of people said certain things to me to ignore JoJo, because obviously there's so much controversy surrounding them, but they didn't, because you know, JoJo appeared to be an amazing and loving person, and they fell in love with JoJo. And it's like, to then be betrayed on national television like that, dude, it's just like utterly humiliating.
That it's embarrassing, right? You can't even reach out to the person, because that's one of the big things about Big Brother, right? They're on their own. They don't have contact. It's just gnarly, man. Like, I feel bad for JoJo's former partner, I think, right? Like, that's just, I don't know. And then to do it on TV where a bunch of people, because I know with Big Brother, I don't know if the celebrity version is the same, but I know in the US, like the more recent versions, there's like a 24-hour live stream that's always playing that you can always look at.
That was the same one. Yeah. And people were like tuning in, and basically it was always JoJo and this dude cuddling, snuggling, doing all these like intimate things together. Really, really weird. But what's interesting is, apparently they did have occasional contact during the entire thing, and JoJo was basically saying to them that they love them, and like how like excited they are to see, or something on those lines. And it's like, to say that but then do what you were doing on TV is just crazy. I may be getting that a little bit wrong there, but yeah, the whole thing was just mental. And then what happened after that is JoJo gets out of the house. Their partner flies across the continent, because they're from Australia. So they fly from Australia all the way to the UK, and there's an after party happening. They go to the after party with JoJo, and at the party with this same guy in the room, just the room next door, JoJo breaks up with their partner at this party.
Jesus.
Like, that's, yeah, like, could you not do it like anywhere else? Like, realistically, you could have just maybe, if you I don't think you should, but like, I think quite a few of us, maybe you haven't, but a few of us have broken up over text before. I've had it done. I've done it before. Just because it was a case of like, I've broken up with a previous partner who was like far away over text because it was like, I didn't want them to have to like travel all the way down to where I am and like just to go all the way back immediately because we broke it up. It's like, you'd rather just like do it over like a phone call or something like that to make it a bit easier. And train prices in the UK are crazy as well. But
I have a article open that I was just looking at because I was curious. So it looks like the former partner's name is Kath Ebbs, and it says right here, it says. So this is like talking about Chris and JoJo's relationship like since then, because it says like right here, it says soon became evident to viewers after JoJo's now ex Kath Ebbs announced that JoJo broke up with them at the show's wrap party. Fans began wondering if Chris and JoJo's relationship had moved on beyond platonic, and then I guess JoJo says, obviously we're close. Obviously we're tight, and Chris 32, he admitted to putting their relationship into words is difficult. It's just a really strong bond between two people, which is just a strong friendship. I don't know. It's just gnarly. So I just wanted to read that out because I thought it was interesting, and I wanted to get the person's name obviously too.
Yeah. And like, obviously it's not like the worst thing she's ever done, but at the end of the day, it's like, it is questionable to do that. Like, I feel like JoJo is this person who is doing everything for the sake of content. And as we mentioned earlier, there are people out there that are so content driven that they just push everything aside. Everything's for views, everything's for clicks. And it kind of like, maybe I'm getting it wrong here, but it just feels that like in every instance with JoJo, she is doing everything for content, even to the point of like sacrificing her relationship on national television just to be talked about a little bit more, just to become a fan favorite or just to get more viewing numbers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, then there's like even, I don't know, it's just weird because she's like 21, right? And he's my age, I think.
32.
Which is, you know, I mean, whatever, it is what it is. But, you know, that's another level to it, right? That makes it a little, it's like a little weird.
Yeah, it's not like illegal, but like, I can't help but look at JoJo and think this is like a 16-year-old.
Dude, I know, it's weird. I thought, I was like, oh, JoJo's surely like 18. No. She's older than that.
I feel like a big part of getting old is when you see like younger actresses or actors get older and you see like younger people be like, oh, they're so hot. Like now they're like 21. And it's like, there's this one instance of, I should actually Google their age before I even comment on this. I'm not going to say anything like inappropriate, but I don't know if like it's even appropriate to call, hold on. Let me just check. Okay. Actors for a certain movie. Okay, yeah, Daphne Keane. She's 20 now, right?
Okay.
She is the... Have you ever watched Logan before?
Yes.
So you know the little girl... Yeah, you know the little girl from X-23 in it? Yeah. You know, the Wolverine girl. She's now 20 years old, and like she was like posting photos the other day, and I saw like some Marvel account like tweeted out the photos, and like, you know, she's showing like cleavage and stuff in the photos, and like the post is just like going everywhere. Like people are like, oh, she's so fucking hot now, and I'm like, dude, that's a little girl, man. That's a girl. That's obviously she's not, and I'm not trying to like, I don't know what the word is.
Or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not trying to do that, but like, to me, as a 28-year-old, I can't help but just like, it just kind of, it feels weird. It feels weird. It feels wrong. So like to see like, obviously JoJo and this person technically aren't in a relationship, but like to even be acting like that for a third, it's not like that bad. Like it's not, well, we mentioned James Charles, it's not like that, but it is just like, it's a case of you've got no business, in my opinion. Like friendship, sure. Like I think, I only have one friend who's like 20 years old, and the reason I'm friends with the person is because it's through we play in the same sports team. He's the youngest guy there. Everyone else is like, I believe, like 26 to 30, and he's there because the way we met him was like we were at like watching a football game, and he was watching it by himself, and it was like the game was on the TV, and we were like, oh, if you support the team. We weren't supporting the team, and we were like, oh, just if you want to get closer to the screen, just come sit at our table. Just got chatting to him. Turned out he was 20. Well, really, like we didn't stay close friends, but like we needed numbers one time for our team, and I sent the guy a text. I knew he liked football, being like, oh mate, do you want to come play football? And he was like, sure. So now he's on the team, and yeah, I think that's like a normal, like older adult, younger adult friendship. You know, not even that big of an age gap, but like I think that's normal. But to be on TV, 21 and 32, snuggling, cuddling, being intimate. Have
you and your new friend peed in a
in a litter box? Not yet. We're not quite at that point in our friendship. Maybe if we win a trophy, you know, maybe
that'll be the celebration. But yeah,
no.
the whole situation is just kind of icky. You know, that's the best way that I can really explain it. It feels icky to me. And I feel for the ex-partner, I guess, because it's just more than anything, it's just embarrassing. That would be embarrassing.
It is like it's a really weird, because when you say, "Oh, that's embarrassing," it's usually used in like a derogatory way, but like no, it's like in like a shameful way of like that's just so embarrassing. Mm-hmm. Like, can you imagine like having that happen to you? Like imagine speaking to your friends after that. It's like, you know that they're talking about it. You know that they're thinking about it. It's like everyone's talking about it on social media. It's like, fuck me, dude. That is just like, it's like cringe. It's like cringy.
Yeah,
like it's that bad.
I will say, at least it seems that the sentiment is more in their favor, right? People like you.
Oh yeah,
you know. So at least there's like there you could find solace in that. Like, there's nothing I did and I was treated poorly, and everyone seems to feel the same way, and so you can feel a little bit better. You know, at least knowing that, right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Like, I definitely think they've done absolutely nothing wrong. And I think in their video, they handled it perfectly. Is there in Kathy? Do you say Kath?
I think it was Kath. Let me look one more time.
Yeah. Like, I think Kath handled it in like a really dignified way. And like, bro, if I'm in that situation, if someone's cheating on me on national television, on Big Brother, and going viral because of it, I'm getting the Netflix deals. I'm making the TikToks. I'm making the Instagram stories. I'm getting the sponsor. I'm going all out on that sort of thing, because if you're profiting off that, I'm certainly profiting off that. And you know, maybe we can give a bit of money to Whiplash to get him back in fighting form.
We'll see. I don't know. I think he might need to just sail off into the sunset, you know?
I do think that's what I love about Celebrity Big Brother, though, where there are like somewhat celebrities in there, like Jojo Siwa, and then there's just like some fucking niche actor from Iron Man 2. It's like kind of amazing that they put. And
now we just know that we saw the genesis of him becoming a commentator on Fox, you know, and so we know
it's gonna happen, bro.
He's
like
gonna be
he got cancelled by the woke mob.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly, dude. He's gonna have a sick show. Whiplash with Mickey Rourke coming 2 p.m.
He's gonna fucking have a debate with Iron Man.
Yeah.
They're gonna like go through all the new MCU films, just fucking slating them, calling them woke nonsense.
Yeah.
The one thing I love about like the woke thing is like, before it was like, maybe there was like, I don't know, like not truth in it, but there was like a time of where like a lot of a lot of people were getting mad about like characters being race swapped and stuff like that. Personally, don't give a fuck. I think it's very cringy to get mad at those sort of things, but like, they were like very bait things to get mad at. I feel like a 50-year-old on Facebook could definitely be rage baited into something like that. Oh, yeah. But now it's like, people are just getting rage baited over the stupidest things. Like in the Andor, like the new Star Wars show, I watched it today. I thought it was pretty good. And there's like a scene where like two characters kiss, both happen to be female. Genuinely. No, I fucking turned the shit off. I was like, what the fuck is that?
You should have. Did you write them an email?
Oh yeah,
I
wrote. No, I don't use the internet.
Oh, you wrote it actual.
I don't want 5G. Yeah. I don't want any of that 5G shit, dude.
Did you send your carrier pigeon to tell them?
Yeah, it's been fucking hit by a plane now, though. Sadly, it was hit by Whiplash's Whiplash. But yeah. So I saw it and I was like, I didn't even think anything of it because I'm so politically astute.
Wow, you're so inspirational, man.
Do you know?
You probably didn't even notice.
I didn't even explain the book that I was reading earlier. We went on. The book. Sorry. Firstly, I want to say the book I'm reading is all about like, not like feminism directly, but there's like a lot of things about feminism and like how like women's bodies are perceived in Japan. There's a book called like Butter, where it's like about this woman who's seemingly maybe been framed for murder. Maybe she is a murderer. She's fucking obsessed with butter. Like, it sounds weird. It's actually a really good book. It's kind of all about how it seems, at least, to be how a lot of Japanese men just kind of suck. Just thought I'd add that in there because I forgot to mention it earlier. But yeah, so these two women kiss in the show. Didn't even think anything of it. I was like not even crossing the mind. It's just two people kissing for like 4 seconds, if that. And I go onto Twitter and they're like, it's like people being like, they've made Star Wars gay now. They're gay now. And it's like, fuck me. Oh, you guys are so sad. Like, how people live their lives.
What's sad, I'm sorry to interrupt, but what's sad is that there are people that are making videos about this that when they saw that, they were not actually disgusted. They were excited because they said, content.
Yes.
I can't, like, that's what's sad about it. And the people eat it up, man. They just eat it up.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, you're so right. This is horrible. And they don't even, let's be real, most of them probably don't give a fuck. They don't care.
Yeah.
But they know that their audience does.
Oh. It's the people that are like mad, like, brother, I can't believe they race swapped Snow White. It's like, you weren't even gonna go fucking see Snow White. Like, if they did, if they
definitely
like,
not
let's be real.
going to now.
Yeah.
Okay, Greg, that's 65. Like, it's fine.
It's like if they cast, I don't know, fucking the woman that plays Hermione Granger as Snow White, like, they would not have gone and seen that movie. But now, and they're still not going to see it, but now they're acting like it's the fucking end of the world. And like 50-year-olds on Facebook would be like, oh, it's the end of the world. Like, the woke mob's taken over. And it's like, what's mad is politics is one on these sort of things now. Modern day politics is like, can you believe that Snow White isn't white?
Yeah.
It's like,
they don't know anything about policies. And I'm not even one to talk because I don't know that much about policies. But people, and that's just in general, people don't know much about policies, but they know about pop culture, the stuff that's going on there. And that's where, exactly right. That's where it's won. You're 100%.
It's crazy. And like, we're clear, like, even with like the Jojo thing of like him saying like the homophobic stuff on there, like, we are definitely regressing. It's kind of weird to see. Like, I've seen on TikTok recently, millennials and Gen Z are kind of at war with each other, because millennials are now basically, some millennials on TikTok are making the claim that they are probably the most progressive generation that there is, and Gen Z are like this weird boomer generation. They're like a baby boomer generation without the money, which is like, it's kind of weird with Gen Z, because I do fundamentally think that there is this fucking insane conservative right-wing thing with Gen Z. But then there's also like the most radically, like left wing as possible. Like, whereas millennials, I feel like, are very much left, but like not that far. They're like in the middle, center left sort of thing. Like, you know, gay rights and stuff like that. But they're never like, I don't remember, because like I'm in that weird space of like mix of Gen Z, and I'm technically Gen Z, but like I grew up around a lot of millennial culture. And a lot of friends of mine are millennials, like, and honestly, I didn't fucking think about millennials versus Gen Z until like TikTok became a thing. Did not give a shit about any of that sort of stuff. But I definitely, when I was younger, there was like social progress and like progressive movements, but it wasn't like as big as it is now. Like, growing up, I remember there was like a lot of, so there's a lot of right-wing politicians in the UK now who are really popular because of the rise of the right wing in the last few years. Growing up as a kid, them exact same politicians were like seen as disgusting racists and like, you're a fucking awful person if you affiliate with them and stuff like that. And but that was it. They were seen as a joke. And I think that's why it's changed now, because they're no longer seen as a joke. So now you do have to politically revolt against that to like let people know that they are a fucking joke. And it's like, it's a very weird world that we live in. And I think it does all come from, as you said, pop culture. And like, as you said, now, if you get like cancelled, you will be on Fox News the next day. And even, you know, the UK has its own versions of Fox News now. There's like multiple news stations which are basically like branded off the Fox News like thing of like, you know, do you remember Ollie London?
Yeah.
He's like a British newscaster now. He's on the news in the UK regularly. He like, if you go to Ollie London's Twitter page now, like, let me send you it. It's crazy. He's like
pundit, basically.
Well, firstly, I need to send you this. I'm not going to put the full image up on screen. In fact, I'm just going to describe it. But this is a genuine news thumbnail. Take a look at this. This is Ollie London, the same guy that paid £200,000 to look like Jimin from BTS.
Oh my god.
To describe what I'm showing here, it's Ollie London in like a military uniform, which on the front of it says Ministry of Foreign Affairs for Israel. Because he's become like a part of the press in Israel for like, he's representing the UK out there or some shit like that. And it's like, that's how easy it is. All you've got to, like, if you lose your career, all you've got to do is just right-wing grift. I'll be on the news tomorrow. I've been cancelled by the woke mob. Write my book. I was cancelled. $1 million on the back. It's so easy.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, there's a part of me. No, actually, I say I wish I could be that easy, but I don't. I'm not. Like, if I ever fall to that fucking level, just shoot me in the fucking head. Take me out to see the rabbits, man.
Dude. It's like again, we're going on another tangent, but I watched.
By the way, I should just say, I'm not saying that anyone needs to. I'm saying shoot me, no one else.
No
just
violence
saying.
here. No violence here.
Yeah.
But I was watching a Ryan Beard video about, and he was talking.
I do like Ryan Beard.
Yeah, he was talking about deaf noodles and how he's basically tried to do that. Oh, you're.
I'm gone again. We'll just.
Yeah, we'll just end it here. But he's apparently he's trying to do that on his channel now, where it's like a complete like Trump MAGA thing. But that's what it reminded me of. It's very funny.
Yeah, it's like genuinely insane that like it's so easy to make a career out. Is it like you're American? Do you know like is it just that crazy out there? Has it always been that crazy with these sort of things? Like growing up, was it this sort? Like I know Fox News has always been there and has always been ridiculous, but was it always this ridiculous?
No, I think it's only gotten more and more comical as the years have gone on. And like what you were talking about with like Gen Z and millennials, like I remember when I wouldn't say younger because I've talked about this before, but I grew up, I guess, relatively conservative. I wasn't politically, I just didn't care about it for, you know, when I was younger. But then like, you know, probably say 5 years ago when I started like, you know, thinking about this stuff, I remember thinking like, well, at least like things will only get better, right? More progressive and like, you know, but now it's like, okay, maybe not. Like maybe that's not the case, and now we're gonna go backwards. Dude, and if that's what it feels like now, which is bizarre. I
remember when gay marriage got legalized, and I was like, "Wow, like we're progressing so far as a society." This is like I feel like I'm trying to think when society like peaked in terms of progressiveness. I don't really know when, but when like gay marriage got legalized in like the US and the UK, I think is it legal? It is legal in the US now, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
For now, like I feel like like that was like a real major moment. Like obviously, I know that there were so many bad things happening in a lot of countries, but like during like the Obama administration, as a kid, you're like, wow. Like, there's a black president.
2008,
gay,
like,
what was the mantra he went with? Change. Was it change?
Yeah.
And like, I remember in the UK, that was like, wow, that's fucking awesome. Like, I remember as a kid, that's like what I grew up with in terms of America, and I used to think America's a fucking awesome place.
Dude, I'm getting the chills thinking about this stuff, man, because like that was when I was in high school, and just like the excitement, right? For like because I said I grew up like relatively in a conservative household, just as like really mainly because of like Christian stuff, right? But like I remember seeing that and just being like very proud of the US, right? Regardless, I didn't really care much. Again, I think I was 15 in 2008, you know what I mean? So like I didn't really care that much, but it was just like, man, like we're moving forward, progress, right? Change. And now it's like, okay, what happened? Like, so I'm curious, like, because I think that is a good question. Like, when was the most, like, when we I guess is like the US and the UK, I don't know, obviously they're two very different places, but like, I wonder what other people think, what they would think is the most, like, if you're listening, watching, I would love to know what you think in the comments. Like, is there a specific year, or do you think maybe we're just full of it and it's like, dude, we're the most progressive we've ever been now, and you're just in the doomer, you know, you're just in doomer mode?
I think that there definitely is a big group of progressive people. Like a big part of America definitely is progressive. And honestly, like there's arguments to be made that America is the most progressive place on the planet. Like weirdly enough, like just by the sheer volume of people there that are progressive. Like thinking to Europe, like we're good on some things. Like I think we're good for like, you know, gay rights and stuff like that. But Europe has a lot of problems when it comes to trans rights. Like recently in the UK, they've basically just said that trans people don't exist, which they obviously do. But in law, like that stuff's now coming into place here. So we have tons of issues with that. And then last year we had the migrant riots. So like even here it's bad. It's probably not spoken about as much in America, but like it's bad here. There's a lot of bad things going on in Europe, but like it's weird because even growing up, like you speak about like 2008 and the chills, like I felt growing up that like the UK wasn't a non-progressive place. I thought it was progressive, and like so many things were just normal. Like the things that are now contested and debated nowadays were not contested and debated when I was a kid. And now maybe that's because I had a lot of good people around me, but it just feels different now. And like, as you said, thinking back to 2008, where there was like such a period of hope. And the sad thing is I think social media really is the problem. Like, I really do. Like, the ability for people like Andrew Tate to get big, the ability for like so many horrible people to get platforms and spread incel messages, spread horrific things, and popularize being just like overtly horrific and politically and socially, and making money off that and monetizing that. That's obviously only going to encourage more people to do that. I see people now like moving abroad. Like, there's this guy on TikTok who like, he's like this British guy in TikTok, and he walks around Thailand with his shirt off, and he just like records TikTok complaining about woke culture and stuff, and like saying how Britain's a failed state, and he's moved to Thailand, and like there's no woke people here. And it's like, people are so weird now. People are so stupid, because like his whole argument there is hilarious, because I'm sure there's a lot of socially progressive issues in Thailand, but also you've moved to a place where you're profiteering off a not terrible economy, but like an economy that isn't as good as the UK's. You've only got the money to go there and pay for the luxury Airbnb that you've got, because you've gone from the UK's economy, and now you're exploiting people on low wages in places like Bali, for example. And it's like, I think people's minds are so warped by social media, where they can so easily get a career from this grift. And it's just like, it's just going to get worse and worse, because... And there's so, the influencers now are just so fucking weird. Like, there is still good influencers, but when you see the shit going on, like with Dubai influencers and stuff like that, and the Tate stuff, it's just like, it is just depressing. And I try not to be a doomer. I really do. Because as I said earlier, I do also think at the same time, America is weirdly still incredibly progressive, you know?
Yeah. I think it's one of those things, like whatever circle you're in, you kind of, we can call it an echo chamber, whatever you want to call it. Right. But like whatever circle you're in, you kind of hear that stuff. And so I think that's a good point. Like, focusing on the good. And there are a lot of, especially with, the US, like there are a lot of good people, and there are a lot of good things that are happening, and not to only focus on the negative. But again, it's like, be realistic. Don't only focus on the positive, because you need to see the negative to know where the change has to happen. And so I like that kind of like, way to look at it. Like, I don't know if the US is the most progressive. I definitely wouldn't make that claim as an American, because people be like, you're a freaking idiot, and fair enough. But like, as far as like, there are definitely a lot of progressive people in the US for sure.
That's kind of what I was getting at. There's like millions and millions and millions of progressive people. Whereas like I went to Japan recently, and I thought it was amazing, like absolutely incredible place. But I know it's only amazing because I'm there as a tourist. Yeah. I know that like a tourist experience of Japan's going to be incredible. And don't get me wrong, I'm not taking away from Japanese culture. It is amazing. There's a lot of like the architecture is incredible. The roads like there are like it's like so litter free. It's like beautiful. But there are problems there, like the work culture there. It's absolutely horrific. There are so many issues with like women getting sexually assaulted by men, being harassed by men. Like, it's gotten to the point of where they now have carriages specifically designed for women just to combat these types of issues in Japan. And there are so many other issues there, like people working, like in Japan, like it feels like there's like a culture there of where people have to work every minute of the day. They wake up at 6 a.m, they go to work, they get back at like 10 p.m. and go to bed, and repeat every single day for like 60 years straight. And it's like, there are so many issues in that country, but it's like easy to go and then be like, oh, well, it's amazing to go to, it's amazing. And like, Japan's the best place in the world, but it's like, it's not the best place in the world. And I think the same can be applied to America. If it's horrific. They've got Trump, they've got all these terrible things, but they do also have a lot of good things. And I think I think it's important to sometimes highlight the good things, as well as, there is a lot of doomer stuff out there too.
But it was interesting because it's like the grass is always greener, right? And like, because I was watching this, I think it was a TikTok or Instagram reel, because I'm old and I still use Instagram like that. But
Instagram reels are, I love Instagram reels. My Instagram reels for me is just pure brain rot, but sorry, carry on.
It's so bad. But he was visiting from Japan, like a big city, and to LA, right? And he was like, I love it here. It's so much, like basically saying,
I saw this TikTok.
I love it more than where I'm from. And then all these people from the US that love Japan are like, what are you talking about? And he was just like, he was being very polite, but he was just like, I disagree with you completely. Like, it's just.
I think the city he was coming from was Osaka.
I think you're
I think I saw this exact same TikTok. And it is interesting because, like, I think there is this idealized perspective of Japan because of things like anime. And to be fair, Japan's an amazing place. I want to go back there so badly. I just need to find someone who will go back with me, because I'm not too keen on going there on my own. I've never solo traveled in my life.
I understand that.
But it's an amazing place, but I think it's also important to highlight issues. What is funny though is like there is the thing of like, I don't know if you've seen the memes of where it's like water in America and it's like someone being sad, and it's like water in Japan, it's amazing. It's just like very basic things, but I'm not gonna lie to you, bro, it's fucking true. Like I like going out, like even like going to the supermarket out there as a tourist, it's fucking awesome. 7-Eleven out there is better than the American 7-Eleven. They've got so many little cool things and it's fun. But if I lived there and I had to get a job out there, I'm sure the novelty would wear off. Now, maybe I don't know if it would be better than living in the UK. I'm like, when it comes to like moving to other countries, I was listening to somebody speak about this earlier of where like so many rich people move to like poorer countries like Bali, where they move into these luxurious places, kind of what I was touching on just now, of where they can afford these really nice Airbnbs to rent out for an entire year. But why can they afford that? Because the economy is fucking terrible there, because people are paid horrific wages. The country does not do enough to support the local people of that country. So there is like a genuine conversation that I think needs to be had about these influencers and rich people moving out to these countries and exploiting these places with their wealth from other countries. Like if I was going to move somewhere, maybe Japan would be a place I would like to move to if I could speak Japanese, because I know the economy, whilst maybe not... Actually, no, the economy there's amazing. So I feel like I'd be more comfortable moving to a similar economy rather than being like, I'm moving to this poorer country where I can exploit the economy. Not to be overly, that friend who's a bit too woke. But, I think it's like an interesting thing, because I don't know about you, but have you seen all these influencers that like move out to Bali and stuff like that?
Like move out and then they just flaunt their wealth and how good life is there, and it's like there's a reason that it's so good for you.
They're making $100,000 a year, but their cleaner is making $100 a month cleaning their mansion, and it's like, it sounds horrible, but it's the truth, and it's the dark truth surrounding these places. I think it was I think Jimmy the Giant is a really good YouTuber, and he made a video kind of speaking about this sort of thing about people moving out to Dubai, and why is Dubai such a great place to work to? Why is it such a metropolis? While the place was built on slavery, the workers out there, like in a lot of places, like workers, their whole citizenship is tied to their work in a lot of these Gulf countries, where if they lose their job, their citizenship's revoked. They have to go back to where they came from before, and it's like, that's crazy. Like the treatment to the actual people out there is just that are from that country or are like workers in that country. It's just horrific, and I just don't think I could ever move to these countries, because say what you want to say about like America, Europe, the EU, whatever, the UK, I feel like at least we have like relatively some levels of like, well, within the UK we have like, I think, good workers' rights. Maybe not so much in the US, but you have better than these countries that influencers are moving to and being like, oh, this is the best place on planet Earth. I love Bali. Look at me in my mansion. Why are you able to afford a mansion? There's a reason that you're not telling us. Or maybe they don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a level of ignorance, especially if they're, if they're American and they aren't really thinking too much about it. But I think like it's one of those things that at some point you have to look around and like, what, why is it? What is like, how much is this person making? How are they affording to live if I'm giving them, equivalent to $1 for an entire meal or whatever? I don't think it's that crazy, but it's like, it's like at some point you got to get the wheels turning a little bit,
100%, man. 100%. I feel like it's like it's a really unspoken thing, because I think like you think Bali, all the waterfalls, it's amazing, it's cheap, but just always think, like, as you said earlier, it's like, what's the phrase? The grass is always green on the other side. Like, it's a case of like, yeah, it's amazing, but there's a reason that it's amazing. And I feel like if you actually were a citizen of that country, you'd probably not think it's as amazing. Like, don't get me wrong, you probably would love your country. I think that's fine to love the country that you're from. Like, I think I love like being British, but I know there's a lot of issues, and even there's a lot of issues with the sentiment of loving being British and loving being American. I think we've like touched on this before. and even like this conversation could go on forever, but it's like, is that you can love your country, but then turning it into these insane nationalistic beliefs that go over the top. Like, yeah,
exactly.
But yeah, with that, because I feel like we could go on forever. My camera's probably going to explode soon. I think we'll wrap it up there. I genuinely didn't expect us to go on for this long, but I think it's been a great episode.
Yeah, no, it's been fun. It's been very much all over the place. I'm curious what people are going to say, but we'll see.
I feel like we spoke about JoJo technically for like an hour, but it went into it's an hour of like 15 minutes of JoJo, 40 minutes of like the geopolitical history of the world,
and then Mickey Rourke.
Dude, bring him fucking back.
We need to get him on the podcast, you know.
Should we say? Can somebody if still listening, send him an email, be like, "Yo, these guys in Over the Pond,
big fans.
They want you on. They want you on." Although I don't think he'd be happy after what we've said.
Yeah, probably not.
We can debate him on Fox News. We can be the woke mob.
Yeah, we'll be the woke mob. Yeah, it sounds good to me.
But yeah, thank you so much for listening, everybody. Please let us know your thoughts down below. And yeah, I'm glad to be back being consistent. And we'll be back next week. I think this episode probably going to go out on Sunday. I don't want it to be too close to the latest episode. But yeah, thanks for watching. And we'll see you in the next one.
Peace.